Rip.
Fuck it, we're going live. I don't fucking care. I'm fucking over it. I don't get it. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Fucking welcome everybody to the goddamn podcast. This is fucking scuffed right off the fucking bat. Jesus fuck.
The scuffed.
I don't
ass
fucking
podcast.
understand, man. I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine. We're not live. We can fix it in post, right?
Yeah, right. This is fucking.
Oh,
I don't
shit.
get it, man. I don't know. Welcome in. Like, I swear to God, I think it's because my wife is like also trying to use Spotify and it's kicking me off or some shit. I don't know. I'm trying to get chat up, man. I'm fucking all over the place. Welcome in, guys. How's everybody doing tonight?
Sup.
Welcome to episode number 17 of the best, amazing, most kick-ass fucking like rock hard podcast.
We're going right into Mortal Shell.
yeah, right in. That is on Twitch. That's on Spotify. That's right. I said we're on Spotify. You can go check us out on Spotify and on the YouTubes as well. But how is everybody doing tonight? Welcome in. It's gonna be a chock full podcast, man. We have got a shit ton of topics to talk about. Like, legitimately, it's fucking crazy. There are so many topics to talk about.
Surprisingly, no Twitch drama.
No, that's not true.
Oh,
That's not
never
true.
mind.
That's not true.
There is. I don't know if we're gonna talk about it.
That's
but,
not true.
I guess you're right.
There's always
right,
Twitch
you
drama.
right, you right.
It's a huge pool of Twitch drama always.
Yeah, there's Twitch drama for damn sure. But again, before we get anywhere close to getting started, I obviously have to introduce my group, my crew, my boys. I could not do this alone. With me is I gotta come up with a name for you guys. Like, we gotta have a name.
What?
You know, it's gotta be like, you know, like Kevin Hart has like the plastic cup boys. We need to be like the salty sack.
Splatoon.
Yes.
The salty semen.
Jesus Christ. No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Why not, bro?
Jesus Christ. Bro, you can be whatever kind of semen you want to be, but I am not taking part in that. But what is going on, everybody? Yeah, so obviously I could not do this without my crew. I've got Enigma holding it down below. What's going on, Enigma?
Nah, just doing my thing, man. Salty semen for the
Get
fucking life, bro.
Out of here, bro.
God.
My other fellow pre-patchers, Mr. Billy the Squid. What's up, Bill? And obviously Agent Scruffy holding it down for those teeny boppers that need to be looking for, I don't know, the younger
what?
sect.
The teeny boppers.
Yeah, bro.
Teeny boppers.
I mean, you're the closest that we got to teenagers, homie. The rest of us are old
Sinan,
men.
Your boomer is showing.
Yo,
I've never been called a teeny bopper in my life, bro.
just saying. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. As always, you can come and watch us live every other Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern, right on all of our Twitch channels. I'm live, obviously, on my channel at S1N3N. You've got Agent Scruffy over at Agent Scruffy, just how it sounds. You've got Billy _the_ Squid. That is SKWID. And then obviously you can always check us out on the pre-patch main channel. But if you want to engage with us live, you can do that. Like I said, we go live every other Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. And we keep chat up. We engage with chat. So if you guys are listening to this on the Spotify or the YouTubes, then come and hang out. Come and join the community. And it's a good time. It's a great time. You know, we check IDs at the door just to
You're
make
a
sure.
good time.
But yeah, it's a great time. So in any case, let's get started with the show, guys. Like, let's kick it off. And we got a doozy.
Where do you want to kick it off?
No, we're gonna go right down the list, man, as it is right here. I put this list together in order of what I think that would make sense. So we're gonna
So
stick
your
to.
transitions should be good.
We're gonna stick to this.
You're
As
not
long
gonna
as
He's been
my
practicing all day,
as long as
guys.
my wife doesn't fuck with my fucking Spotify again, then yeah, it should be great. So kicking off the show is something that it didn't happen too long ago. I think it was like a couple days ago, right? Maybe 3 or 4 days ago, beginning of this week. Epic versus Apple, like the two titans of douchebaggery are just going at it, man. Like legitimately, you've got Apple who fucking blows versus Epic who is competing to figure out who blows harder. Going at the two. So if you guys aren't familiar with what happened, Fortnite has been effectively pulled from every Apple device out there, and actually every
And Google Play.
Google device that's out there. They are no longer on mobile platforms. Now, if you have it already installed, you have it. But it has to be installed. You cannot, if you uninstall it, you will not be able to get it back. But essentially, if I'm not mistaken, the reasoning behind this is because they decided to find a way to monetize around Apple and Google, so they do not get a cut. Am I correct in that? Right?
Yeah.
That is
As
As
that
far
is
as I
correct.
understand,
Yes.
they've got a different way of going through their store now.
Mhm.
And so when it comes down to like paying for the V-Bucks or whatever the fuck they call that shit, I don't know. It doesn't give Google or Apple a cut of the fucking of the
Yeah.
pie.
Yeah. So I think here's the thing, right? A lot of people kind of looked at this and was like, "Oh, good, good for Epic. Like, good way to go, Epic. Great job, right?" I look at this and go, "Fuck you, Epic. Like, this is just another example of how you are trying to say,
Terrible
like,
company, man.
I am going to do whatever I need to do to make sure that I get mine, but fuck anybody else that's on there." Like, I get it, man. Apple's store is shit, right? But
At surface level, it seems like consumer friendly.
what, Apple Store?
No, the Epic thing.
Oh
like
yeah. Well, of course.
circumventing
Of
right.
course.
So
Like,
people don't have the, people don't have to pay more for both Epic and
because
Apple.
Twitch has the same thing. If you try to sub on
Yeah.
mobile on Twitch, it's an extra
Dollar. Yeah, it's
on
an extra
top of,
dollar. right.
Right.
Which
And that goes to Apple.
right.
or whatever device you're going through.
It goes to
Oh, yeah.
their format. Like, which again, I understand from like you said, from a base level, high, like top down level, it's like, okay, well, this is consumer friendly because you're saving me money. But if you actually dig deeper down into it, the reality of it is that it is still a service that they are providing, and that every organization, every company, everything has to be put on there, and there is a fee that goes on to being on their store. If you don't like it, then come up with your own shit. And that is exactly what Epic has done numerous times over, and they continuously keep fucking people over. And what blows me away about this is that they have the audacity to be like, we're going to take them to court because this is against fair use or fair competition laws, but yet they are literally doing the same fucking shit on their platform.
They also blatantly broke both Apple and Google
Yeah, that's what I was about to
policy
say.
by doing what they're doing. They are circumventing their pay thing without their permission. If you go actually and look into the whole thing, it's like the connection that makes it so that the V-Bucks can transfer from whatever Epic has set up to the Apple and Google Play stores. It wasn't told by Apple that it was in whatever patch that they were putting through. They tried to hide it, which is really shady.
Yeah.
It's so shady, dude.
It's fucking nuts. And the fact that
shady, man.
The fact that he is coming out and trying to be this so virtuous person, it just blows me away, because again, if you just look at the stuff that they do, it's amazing. And on top of that, I like most people that are like good natured and good at heart don't come out and be like, yo, look at me, I'm fucking, I'm Jesus fucking Christ, like blah 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 blah. Like, that's not what they do. You know what I mean? Like,
the craziest thing too is that they've actually got a lot of people supporting Epic right now. The whole hashtag free Fortnite movement was trending on Twitter and everything.
That's because they have a young and they've got a very young player base, and they're they're very prone to being able. It's like a fucking mind. Did you guys see the video that they put out with that?
Yeah,
with the fucking black and white shit and the fucking
you're talking about the
propaganda thing.
Like straight up from it, I was like, I don't understand what they were trying to go for right here, because
that's
essentially they're saying that their entire player base was a fucking slave to their game on Apple.
Well, I mean, I mean, you guys know that's like an old Apple promo, right? Like that commercial is Apple's commercial from a long time ago. Like that was their, like,
once again, fucking Fortnite taking something from somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, it's a I think it was whenever they were launching the very first Mac. When Steve Jobs did his like first presentation for Mac, that was the commercial that played. And it's a direct cut, like scene for scene, but obviously done in Fortnite or whatever. Like, I mean, again, it's just blatant, like being an ass. I mean,
I've said it from the start that like Tim Sweeney and Epic come in, they swoop in here, and they think that they're going to be like the savior of fucking PC gaming, right? But the fact of the matter is that from the get-go, Tim Sweeney and Epic, when they first started making fucking computer games, and then they found out that they were going to be pirated easily, they left. They were like, fuck that, I'm not doing it. We're going to fucking, we're going to console where people can't fucking pirate our shit, right? And then he comes back and he's like, oh, never mind, I'm back. I'm going to be the savior of fucking gaming. Don't worry, guys. Epic's got you. And it's like, no, you don't. You're only in it for yourself. You could give a shit less about the gaming community in general.
Right.
Shows with all the exclusives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The exclusives, and now this shit trying to, because like, as much as I don't like Apple, and as much as I'm not a big fan of Google in general, like they deserve their cut, right? Like if it wasn't for Apple and it wasn't for Google, fucking Fortnite would not be as popular as it is right now when it comes down to the fucking mobile devices, right? Like they have millions. Yeah,
it's still a service that we're paying for pretty much, and that we're using.
Right. And again, and to think about it, that's even worse is that, like I said, every fucking app that's on there has to pay their dues. Everybody has to. This is not like Apple is just like, no, fuck you. We're gonna, what you're gonna, that's where you're gonna get it. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that even takes it even a step further, right? What makes it so much worse in my mind for Epic is that you can go to your account online. You can go, and if I were to go on my PC, download the Epic Store, right? Download Fortnite and just go to buy it through Fortnite, right? Mm-hmm. I can circumvent all of that anyway. Like I mean, I could go and buy those skins on Fortnite in my account there and then go on my mobile phone and do it, right? So the fact that they're like, oh, well, fuck you, I'm going to make it so you don't have to do that and really cut out Apple. Like it just blows me away, man. Like it really, really blows me away that this is just the way that they deal with things. And it's really firmly cemented my whole feeling, because before, like I said, if you guys have been in my stream or whatever else, I've been going back and forth about like Rogue Company and even like Mortal Shell and things like that, because you guys know how much I like, roguelikes. I love like even though I may not play them as much on stream and things like that, like I still love Souls-like games, Hellpoint and stuff like that, which I'm having a blast with. I really want to play Mortal Shell. But after this, cemented 100% of being like, nope, fuck it. I will not, like, I don't know. It would take an act of God for me to install the Epic Launcher on my shit.
Would you play it after the 1 year though? Because isn't it going only exclusive for like 1 year?
Yeah. Once it's on Steam, fine. I'll play it then.
The thing that I have said from the start with the exclusives, right? After we saw like Metro Exodus come out exclusive, as well as like Borderlands 3 and everything like that, like in the long run, you'd get a better fucking quality game if you wait for it to come out on Steam. Like you legitimately you do. Like there's no arguing.
You get more of a game too, because exactly by the time that year's up, they've got all their DLC out. They've got a package.
Yeah.
So like with Borderlands, with Borderlands, I paid $30 for Borderlands and got all the fucking DLC in it.
Wait, hold on a sec. More importantly, you better pet that doggo like your life depends on it. For anybody listening on Spotify, Doggo has made an appearance on Bill's stream.
That's why you got to watch it live.
Yeah, you got to watch live.
in general, you do get a better quality game if you wait for it to come out on Steam, and you get it cheaper. So I mean, in the long run, it's like there's no real incentive for me to download and purchase things off of the fucking.
I mean, and it's just
incentive is the free fucking video games, and it's like whoopty fucking do.
Right.
And a lot of times I've heard that they've screwed the actual developers.
They slaughter them, bro. They slaughter them.
It's crazy.
So, and actually, to come to find out, so there's a game that is, I'm not going to mention the game, right? You guys can do your own research on it right now, but there's a game that is being offered for free on the Epic Store that has also launched a DLC alongside its free version. And the reason that they launched this DLC at the same time that it was being offered for free on the Epic Store is because they have to make the money. They're trying to make the money back for the loss that they are taking from their game being free on the Epic Store. So again, I'm not going to say what game it is. You guys can do your own research on it, but it's very easy to find out. But when that stuff, like, and I'm not saying that like they won't benefit as well. Like, yes, being free, maybe they'll get people that'll buy the DLC and things like that. But
right,
it opens my eyes to be like,
I'm pretty sure they get the DLC with the free game.
But not the new stuff. This is, they dropped a new DLC like specifically for this.
Okay, I got you.
And
I know what you're talking about now.
And so it's like, okay, I mean, if that's the case, like, you know, it just really does show me that this shit is fucked up. You know what I mean?
It is
shady shit.
So
the funny thing about the whole thing is so Epic is trying to sue Apple and Google. No, it's just specifically.
It's just Apple. Yeah, they're not going
Yeah.
after Google.
Okay. So they sued. Apple is countersuing, and due to that countersuit, Epic is issuing a cease and desist order until the initial lawsuit is solidified, and they're demanding that Fortnite be put back on the devices until those lawsuits are solidified.
Yeah.
Well, they don't. But here's the thing: they don't have to. Apple can tell you fuck off. They don't have to put anything on their platform at all.
Again, they broke terms of service with Apple.
They broke terms of service. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
So in the long run, Apple can go back to them and be like, "Fuck you! You
Yeah.
guys broke terms of service. You guys legitimately signed a contract. You signed something when you fucking put your shit on our storefront.
Yeah.
Right. And you went against it.
100%.
Sneakily,
Apple has the
without
upper hand right
telling
now.
us,
Like, I don't
right?
understand.
yeah. Well, I mean, and this is
straight up
this
just
is
it's straight up just Epic.
this is
thinking
very
that they're
much of this
fucking-
of the same thing of you know, Twitch in the dock, like people, whatever else.
Yeah.
But like reality, guess what? If he broke TOS, if he broke any terms of TOS, Twitch can say fuck off, you're gone, and they don't have to tell you shit. They don't got to tell you a
Technically,
fucking
even
thing.
if he didn't break TOS, if Twitch doesn't want them streaming on the
They're-
platform,
yeah,
they don't
Absolutely.
need to give a
I mean,
reason.
they don't have to do shit.
Their
as long
platform,
as they don't
Apple-
slander the person that they cut,
Right.
they can cut anybody.
Right.
right,
At
with
any
Apple,
given
it's
time.
their store. They
Yeah.
don't have to have Fortnite up on their store. It's not going to hurt them.
Yeah, I mean, so and there is comments that are being made in chat right now that are correct. So Apple is actually working to make it to where Unreal Engine games will not run on Mac, and as well as Unreal Engine games will not be allowed on the Apple Store. Which I don't
They're
know.
taking it extremely.
I mean,
Fuck
but
them, man.
yeah, but here's the thing: like that is
Show it to them,
It
bro.
really is like, as much as it does hurt a lot of devs. Here's the thing, man. Like, a lot of people don't understand, and the Unreal Engine is a good engine, but there are so many better engines out there. There really are. There are so
the
many.
Unreal Engine's just accessible.
Yeah,
I think that's
it's
really
just
the only
easy.
reason.
It's
super
easy.
duper easy and
Right.
accessible.
Right. But the thing is like, honestly, go out there and put a fucking
Aragon.
FU to fucking to Epic. You know what I mean? Like, put the fucking boot to Epic's throat and make them fucking, you know, squeeze a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
And the thing that cracks me up is that, like, if they think that the fucking gamers are gaming on a fucking Mac, like, I don't understand that. Like, that makes no sense. Like,
I mean, some do, but it's not.
yeah,
like,
but it's
you
not
don't
enough
go
to hurt a fucking developer.
Right.
That's such a
If you're,
small
like,
subsection.
really trying to play a game. Your first choice usually is not a Mac.
no, but
You're-
it's,
you're-
And,
gonna have-
honestly, if you are on a Mac, you're on a virtual machine.
yeah.
I was
Well, I
gonna
mean,
say you're
right,
gonna have
yeah.
more of a chance of having a Linux operating system on a Mac playing video games than you are an actual fucking Mac straight up playing a video game.
I mean, the big thing though is that, again, it's setting that precedent, right? It's not it's not the fact of, is it going to be detrimental to Epic, because Epic won't care, but it's the fact of being like, no, we're standing up and saying this is not
Yeah.
cool. You know what I mean? And it's
They're going one step further of,
Right.
of not just like keeping it off, but they're like, yeah, no, this is our territory.
and
pretty much.
and because no, there's not going to be a company that's going to like you know, there is a lawsuit with Google that they are doing. Google doesn't give a shit. Honestly, Google would be like, whatever, fuck off. Do you think we really give a shit about you and your fucking stupid Epic, you know, Fortnite game? Like, your game does not sell my phone. Like, I don't give a damn, or whatever else. And neither does, honestly, Apple. Apple is more like because they broke terms. Like Google doesn't give a shit. They're just kind of like whatever. But Apple is because, like I said, you broke Apple's terms and agreements, and Apple is all about control.
The thing that cracks me up about the whole thing is like taking on Apple and Google is a terrible idea.
Right.
Like legally taking on Apple and Google, they have so much money.
I've looked through some of the lawsuit stuff and the cease and desist order, like basically a restraining order, and I'm really trying to find any grounds that Epic has to stand on, because if you read like the first, like the intro page of the restraining order document that they released, it is very not even cleverly written. It's very slighted to one side, trying to paint a bad picture of Apple when they have no case to stand on. They're just using buzzwords and all this other shit just to try to make something happen.
Right. Yeah. No, they don't have nothing. You know what I mean? And like what I was gonna say, you know, to kind of wrap all this up is that you know, I'm happy for it, man. Let Apple and fucking Google go after them. You know what I mean? Because Steam isn't. You know what I mean? Like dude, Valve doesn't give a shit.
Valve's just chilling in the corner, like laughing, bro.
Well, it's because Valve doesn't care.
That's what we've been talking about since the start. Is like when it came down to when Epic first kind of came out and were doing their whole bullshit with like the exclusives and shit. Like Steam was just like, okay, you guys do what you're gonna do. Like it's not gonna affect us in the long run. Like.
Right.
You got exclusives. Cool. They'll be back.
Yeah. I mean, they don't care. And so this is good. Good. Let them have it. Let them go at it, man. Let them tear each other apart. And
I'd love to see Epic be put in their place.
I did fucking laugh though the other day. Today I was reading through my news articles, right? And apparently there's bricked versions of the iPhone that are going up on eBay and like Amazon for like $4,000 that have Fortnite on.
That have Fortnite on it.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that was gonna happen, because that's the same thing that happened when Flappy Bird was a sensation among phones. When that got taken off, people were selling phones for literally thousands of dollars with that on there.
Yep.
Yeah. Jeez. I mean, whatever, man. I don't want to spend any more time on this. We've already given them enough time as it is. I don't fucking want to talk about Epic anymore. I hate that.
Fuck you, Tim Sweeney.
Douchebag company.
Yep.
So
Tim fucking Shifty.
Moving over to another kind of douchebag move. So Burger King and the donation stuff with Twitch. Have you guys heard about this at all? Like,
I haven't heard anything.
I think it's
about
hilarious.
This.
Okay, I think it's really, really funny.
So what this is, for anybody that does not know, right, is that
it's so funny.
Burger King teamed up with a marketing group, and this marketing group decided that it was a good idea to go to Twitch streamers' donation page to donate. And to use the text-to-speech to be like, hey, just so you know, in case you're hungry, you can take this $5 and go down to your local Burger King, which is 0.7 miles away from your house, and go get yourself a 4 for $4 or whatever their fucking deal. I don't know what their fucking shit is, but like you can go get a burger, fries, and a soft drink for $4.99, and it ran rampant. Like they were just doing this all over. From a marketing standpoint, yeah, it's brilliant. Like, I mean, it's
really good.
It's genius.
It's really fucking annoying for the streamer, though.
Right? From a streamer standpoint and just kind of a etiquette thing, like standpoint, like and coming from someone that works with companies where, you know, we would drop, you know, subs, we would drop donations, we would drop things to get kind of noticed. And, you know, even, you know, myself, like if I need to get my name noticed in someone's chat, if I'm trying to get in touch with someone via email, you know, I'll drop a donation in there. And so they see my name, you know, on Twitch. But it's kind of a general rule of thumb is that you do not in any way, shape, or form use text to speech to be like, hey man, just so you know, super love, you know, the stream, and if you ever wanted to start making t-shirts, you should start using this company. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't do that.
It would be the same as like another streamer going in and donating to advertise their stream. Basically, it's a business advertising a business on another business.
Right. I'm just gonna go out there and say, hey Burger King, if you want to drop that funding that you got for that shit on me, you can do that all you want.
You don't even stream.
I will start streaming if you want to fucking drop all that fucking marketing.
How much were they dropping though?
It was like $5. I mean, we're not talking large amounts. Yeah, there was nothing.
No, I'm talking the entire marketing budget. Just come over to my fucking
on your one. Yeah.
I definitely could see how it'd be annoying for like, because they probably, I'm guessing, only did it for streamers who had maybe what, like 100 to more people. They probably
it
weren't
wasn't.
doing
It was nothing. They were not going into like Tim Tatman stream and stuff like that. Like they were doing this in like the very mid range to lower end range or whatever else streams. And honestly, that is the audience base that you want to go after, because it's the audience base that will actually listen versus going into someone like you know
Summit
nothing. Like you just don't.
If they did that in Summit stream, no doubt everybody else would be doing it too.
Right.
You know, everybody else
it would become
it
would become a meme, and it would lose its thing. So like it's so there's two sides to this, right? Like you can go at it and look at it and saying, okay, well, you know, it's funny, it's cute, it's haha, it's cheeky, it's, you know, it's kind of the way that old school media has to adapt to trying to use new school, you know, techniques. And trust me, again, from working at my previous company and working at this one, like this is a thing that we look at every single day. We constantly are looking at like, how is advertising working? How do you get yourself promoted? How does this work in, you know, this kind of digital world? And when you're looking at companies like Burger King and some of these marketing agencies that don't understand like how this really works, you know, and they think that like they look at how Fall Guys is doing the Tim the Tatman stuff, you know, as being like, oh, we can meme, we can do that kind of shit, you know, and it's funny. We can hop on that bandwagon. It's okay. The problem is that once you allow that, it then becomes, it sets precedence and becomes a big problem, right? It now becomes every company in the world will start doing that. Every company in the world will start getting, you know, done. And yes, they're technically paying for it, but you think about
it's different than a sponsor, like, right? Because like, I'm not too familiar with sponsors or whatnot, but like, you know, coming from like a business standpoint, it's probably better like to reach out to a streamer or something, email them and ask them for like permission, or say like, you know, can we negotiate some sort of deal, and rather just like go into a random stream, drop a $5 minimum for a text to speech, and then, you know, for almost free advertising, a minimum advertising, you know, right there.
Right.
I feel like if they were to actually talk to the streamer first and try to figure something out, but I don't think they'd waste their time doing that.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about it too is that, oh, good.
I was going to say, technically they're paying for the advertising.
They are, but the problem, the problem is that
it's just minimum. You know,
it's just surprise advertising.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that there are very strict laws that go into place when it comes to these kind of things, and so there are. So, and here's a good for instance, right? Let's say, obviously they didn't do it on anybody that's large enough, you know, that, you know, makes a big deal. But, you know, let's say they were to go to like XQC or, you know, Tim or Summit or whatever, you know, these guys that are managed. So you go and you drop money. Technically, from an agency standpoint, they are supposed to get a cut of that, like, because that is an advertisement. That is, you know, something that is being promoted on their stream, and they're the agent. Like, there are agency laws that are there for those kind of things, and so it starts to like walk a very fine line of like, well, is this legal? Like, is this legally, you know, okay? And what kind of precedence?
Not only again, not only just legal, but is it ethical?
Right.
Like, you know, is it an ethical thing to do when it comes down to it? Right. Like we were talking about that earlier, where it's like,
again, it's kind of shady, kind of
like kind of like the Fortnite fucking Apple thing.
Well,
like you're circumventing shit, you know.
Well, that, and it becomes you know, another situation too of the subliminal advertisement, right? You know, this is a thing that I can tell you is being talked about in gaming space, and in especially with Facebook and owning Oculus, of you know, how much real estate can we take up as from an advertisement standpoint. And we all joke and laugh about the, you know, and we think about it like it's funny whenever in the movie Ready Player One, whenever, you know, IOI was like literally being like, we can fill 90% of the screen without inducing a seizure, right? Well, that's true. Like, those companies are legitimately looking at how do they fill your screen with advertisements, right? Yeah. How do and look at Twitch. Twitch literally is doing it. I mean, they do it now. Like, Twitch 100% shrinks down the screen, puts a big ad right in the middle of the screen, right? And there's no way of getting around it. Like, you can't, you know, even, you know, you can sub or whatever else, but then that's just being like, hey, pay to get out of this. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not true.
So
you can get around it with ad blocker.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is that in most cases, in any, okay, yes, you can get ad blocker, but most people aren't use ad blocker, whatever else. I mean, from a standpoint, it's still fucking stupid. And you don't get to choose what you're seeing, right? It's not like, at least on my fucking phone with Twitter, I can be like, okay, well, what's being sent to me is something that at least makes fucking sense. This is shit that's like, like I bring this up all the time. Welcome to the fucking moan zone, dude. If I, you know, they're not doing it anymore, but like, you know, that was one of those things. It's like, no, I'm not gonna have my 13-year-old kid watching the moan zone. Like, it's just not happening. So
do you think this would have been different if it was a different company besides Burger King? Like, do you think if it was fucking like Wendy's, like, coming out here roasting like streamers like they do on Twitter and stuff with these donation adverts, like, would it have came off as different?
I don't think so. I think that one, because it wasn't the exact, it wasn't Wendy's or it wasn't Burger King itself. It was this fucking company that was, you know, doing it on Burger King's behalf, but also too, like, it was just, I don't know. There's no, that's not a meme-y thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, hypothetically, if it was that kind of a situation, do you think it wouldn't, like, do you think it could have possibly gotten good press instead of bad press?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, and you know, we've. Go ahead, Scruff. Go.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like it is definitely being taken as a meme thing now, even though we know and what we've like discussing it is kind of pretty shady actually. But
Rob, have you seen the Twitter? Have you seen the shit that people are posting about it?
I haven't.
It's not being taken like that at all. People are fucking livid.
Actually,
you know, we've talked about this a couple different times when it comes down to like Twitch streamers starting bad drama on Twitch just to get more publicity.
It's still getting circulation.
Yeah. Do you think maybe it's one of those things where it's like,
maybe,
you know, hey, no matter what, you know, bad press or good press, you know, they're going to think we're assholes one way or another. So let's get our fucking name out there as much as possible.
I mean, maybe
shit anyway. So
yeah,
I mean, you know, maybe, but I still don't like it. Regardless of this one situation, it's just a shitty thing to do. And to be 100% honest, like, I tell most people when, you know, they come to me and they ask me about streaming stuff, I tell people right off the bat, I was like, turn off your fucking text to speech. Like, just turn it the fuck off. One, not because of this, but people will just post a bunch of shit. Like, they will find a way. This is the internet. They're going to find a way to get around the N-word. They're going to find a way to get around your bans. They're going to find a way to get around anything that you've got on there to make it so you're not, you know, racist blocks or, you know, sexist blocks. Anything that you can put on there, there will be some way to get around it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so just turn it off. Like, just turn the fuck off, and then you can read it. Like, I can read any donations that come through, you know, on my channel, the one every 5 years that shows up. But when it does, I can read it. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it just turn it off. It's not a good idea to have it turned on anyway. So, but yeah, so I think this kind of brings up the next topic, which is some, you know, how to properly do your social media and how to properly promote. Tim the Tatman and Fall Guys, like 350,000 people watching him get his first crown.
Still don't fucking understand this game, dude.
Like, I was there. I watched it. It was fucking hilarious because it was hilarious. It was hilarious. One, I like Fall Guys. I like the game Fall Guys. You don't like it. I get it. You think it's stupid. I like the game. I think it's fun. I think it's relaxing. I think it's enjoyable. I think it's a great party game. It's a great stream game. Yeah, I think it's hilarious. But, dude, whoever the fucking social media director for Fall Guys deserves a goddamn promotion.
I will say that. Yeah, they've done great, especially on Twitter and whatnot, going back and forth roasting Tim and all that good stuff. It's hilarious. It was a journey to watch, honestly.
Yeah, it was. I mean, aside from myself and Scruffy, and it sounds like Enigma, but did you guys watch? Did you guys follow any of this at all? Like, what was happening?
I'm not a big Tim the Tatman fan, so I could give two shits less, honestly. He is one of those, I'm gonna be loud and wave my hands around, and kids are gonna donate their mom's money to me. So
I don't know.
Which they did. Wasn't it like 15,000 fucking donations or subs or something?
He got like 5,000 subs.
I enjoyed
in 2
the
minutes.
memes for what they were because they were fucking everywhere. So I kind of either had to just log off Twitter or accept that this was my fate, or I could just ban word Tim in my Twitter search history. But
I don't know, man.
As far as the game and the streamer goes, it's not. I don't care personally. Good for him that he was able to milk being mediocre at games, or maybe he's not even mediocre. Maybe it was all just a stunt.
It was not. Trust me, it was not a stunt. I watched the fucking shit.
Whatever works. If you're bad at video games, market it. But like I said, I'm I don't know. Maybe I'm just over the loud guy gaming.
I get that. Like, I won't deny it. He is that kind of mentality, that loud, just like scream and he'll get views. But I don't know. The whole thing was quite funny to me because you seen he was trying. Like, he was not just playing the game and like failing on purpose. Like, he was giving it his all and he just could not get it.
And I mean, it was, look, I would rather watch TimTheTatman than watch XQC or watch any of these other, you know, type of people that are just like that loud, obnoxious streamer. And I think that in certain situations, Tim is, but like, I think that he is the non-Doc, like the non-like personality, like stuff of Doc. Like he is that. Like I don't have a problem watching Tim. Like out of like Tim and Summit and I think all of those guys.
A chill guy from like his social media presence, like outside of like advertising his stream and stuff, and like his stream itself. Like he seems like a chill dude. I wouldn't mind having a beer with him.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't have a problem with the guy himself.
Watching,
and I understand that the audience that he's marketing to, that's the kind of content he needs to put out. It's just not my thing.
I mean,
he's just playing.
Watching him play, but watching him play this specifically, because like at a certain point, they like people were literally stream sniping him, people were holding him, people were throwing him. I mean, it was just hilarious of like how he like came where this came to be. And then on top of that, just to see that marketing aspect of like how much both of them, I mean, congrats, man. They both leaned into it. Like Tim did it the right way. He wasn't a dick. He wasn't a douchebag about it. He wasn't like
the Fall Guys people did it.
Right. Like, right, you know, and they both leaned into it and said, we're going to go. And you know what? It made Fall Guys, which is Devolver Digital, which is a company that I love. Like, I think it made them a lot of more popular. It knocked off League for being the top streamed game, like on fucking Twitch. You know, and then Twitch and them started going like, or not Twitch, but League and Fall Guys started going at it. Like, I don't know if you saw the memes that were there, but like Fall Guys tweeted to League saying, you know, I've got the crown now or something like that, or, you know, we'll maybe next year, whatever else. And then League tweeted back a picture of Teemo with like 1,000 shrooms in front of one of the Fall Guys dude with the crown. It's like, Fall Guys, the crown guy's walking. He's like, good luck on your journey. And it's just like, oh my God. It was again, it's great. And
props to the marketing,
yeah,
for sure.
It was fucking great, and I'm happy for him, and I'm happy for Fall Guys. I love seeing a game that is new, that is something that's different, and they are running with it and being successful. So congrats to them, man. Like 100%, keep it up. You know, that's it. So whether you like Fall Guys, you like Tim or not.
Enigma's over here like Fall Guys.
I mean, it's just
I don't hate Fall Guys. I just don't see the point of it. Like.
No, I get you.
It's like I said when we were in pre-show, you know, like I get the allure of it. It's a cool party game. I don't understand people that are playing it for 8 fucking hours straight.
I'm a little surprised that people are playing it that much too, but I don't know. I think it's fresh, it's new, that's just why people are really into it right now.
I mean,
I think people are really into it because TimTheTatman.
It was popular before Tim. It wasn't as popular as what it is now, but it was still popular. I mean, a lot of these guys were.
If Tim and these other people went and started playing Mario Party, it would be blowing up too. It's not
absolutely.
I don't think the game is anything special.
Dude, absolutely
in
not.
That regard.
Dude, you know how many times they've gone and they've played fucking, you know, when they played Rogue Company, it didn't blow up or whatever else. It's nowhere near what Fall Guys is. They'll go and they'll play their even Among Us.
Rogue Company's not marketed to kids.
What are you talking?
It's not a Fortnite. It's not pretty colors and funny noises.
But that's not a fault of the game being the game, and because those guys marketed it. I'm sorry, but I can't like. Fall Guys is popular.
Would you sit down and play it for 8 hours in a row, like nothing but Fall Guys? Is that a game that you could see yourself sitting and playing 8 hours nonstop, days on end?
If I enjoyed to that much, or had like a
money at it, you would force yourself to. I get
what
that.
I'm saying that the game is enjoyable enough to play. And yes, like, am I going to sit there and play 8 hours of that game straight? No, maybe not. But like, I also understand that my community is not built on that. Like, and that's just not my thing. But I'm not gonna sit here and deny that the game is fun. Like the game is fun. It is enjoyable. It is a good time. I play it with my son. You know, I play it on my own. Like I'll, you know, at the end of my streams, I'll usually go and do like 5 or 6 matches. You know, and there is a competitiveness that gets involved and there are moments that happen that make great content. So I don't think to say like the game is only popular because, or one of the reasons the game is popular is because of these big streamers is the case. I mean, the game was being played beforehand and I bought it on my own before anybody else played it, picked it up or whatever else. I knew I was going to play it once I saw it in the Devolver Digital Land or whatever the game was, Devolver Land, on their E3 demo. Yeah. So I mean,
I think it's a good step from Fortnite. I think the Fortnite audience, which is the biggest audience on Twitch and all these streaming platforms, I think they all can very much get behind this style game. And I'm not saying the game's bad. Don't let me saying anything like the fact that I don't care about it doesn't mean that the game's bad. Right. Obviously, the game's not bad. It's doing amazing. It is selling extremely well. I have a bunch of friends that do enjoy playing it.
Right.
But I find it very hard to believe, like, I guess I'm just mind blown by the fact that, like you said, it was the #1 stream game. It does not seem like a game that has that kind of stream longevity.
I see what you're saying though. I also agree with you on the fact that I don't think that it would be the #1 stream game if Tim the Tatman wasn't there playing.
No, it would not be that I agree with you. It would not.
Marketing and this whole ordeal, it probably wouldn't be, but it'd be up there.
Right. It would be. I agree 100%. It would not be the #1 stream game if it wasn't for Tim. But I don't think that it's to say that game is not a successful stream game. Like honestly. Yeah. What I would say is Bill, I really recommend, especially for like your community and how much I know you do community stuff and community games and things like that. Like, I honestly would tell you, go out and fucking try it. Like, go out, download the game, and I'll give you the $20. I'll buy the fucking thing for you. Go out and try it with your community because it is such a different experience. Like, it's not the Mario Party. Like, there's nothing that's out there that really equates to what it is. It's not Mario Party. It's not Pummel Party. It's not any of that. Like, it is the mini games side of Pummel Party, but like the aspect of what it is very, very different. And it is it's a, I don't know. It creates honestly, great moments.
It reminds me a lot of the Mario Party mini games just turned into a game.
Yeah, like absolutely.
And those are the most enjoyable parts of the Mario Party games. Right. I don't know.
It's free on PS4. Like your chat's literally telling you. Play it. It's free on PS4. Go give it a shot.
I only played the beta, but and I didn't think I'd like it, but I did enjoy the little bit of time I did play.
I played a little bit in the beta whenever I got access to it. It's
going to be a game that is going to, give you hundreds of hours of play, but it definitely right now is something new, something fun to play. It's different. It's doing different kind of stuff. I think that they need to keep up with the game at a fast pace or it will die.
Well, they are. They
need to add tons of mini games. They need to add player-made mini games, maps, all that sort of stuff, or the game will die. I'd love to see where the game goes. And
they've already added three new mini games to the game.
That was my mindset on is the longevity aspect. How long can you play this game before you've went through almost every scenario that you can come up with? I mean, it's a very minimalistic game in that aspect. You can run, you can jump, you can grab and kick things, and you can dive. So they need to have a healthy flow of content coming or it's going to be stale. That's where battle royales and stuff like that have kind of an edge because they don't need to push as hard, like pushing out content.
Do they have custom lobbies yet?
No, it's not custom lobbies. No.
They need, what I would say to really make the game is custom lobbies and like some sort of workshop or something for people to put up their own stuff. I think that would help the game tons.
Yeah.
To keep some sort of
longevity. I think we went off on a bit of a tangent here though. Like honestly, I think the best part about it is like good on them. I think they did a really good job with the fucking the collaboration between Tim the Tatman and everything like that.
That's for sure.
100%. Yeah, like that. The biggest thing is like take it away from like my dislike of the game and well, not dislike, but just not really understanding it.
Indifference.
What they did was good. Like them kicking fucking League of Legends, which has been top fucking tier stream for years, years and years, is a monumental achievement.
Yeah.
For a game that legitimately just released like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know, 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely good on him.
Yep. Moving on. I don't think this is gonna take too much time, but we kind of all saw this coming. Doc is now officially on YouTube. Congrats to YouTube. You know, he's doing amazing over there, honestly. You know, it's the
He's
Doc,
averaging
man.
what, 70K a stream?
Yeah, I think
his, like, initial
stream was like
high,
initial stream was 500,000, and then it backed down. He held around 150 for a couple days, and then now he's at like 60 to 70,000 steady.
Which is probably where he'll stay.
Is that what he's been mainlining his Rogue Company?
No, he's doing everything. The problem that it's here now is you know, and Shroud came to Twitch, right? You know, again, which I don't know, big deal, like great, I guess. We weren't going. We knew Shroud wasn't going to go anywhere else.
Yeah, I was about to say we kind of called it that day that we kind of talked about it. Like Shroud had absolutely
Shroud's
no
the
reason
Keanu
not to
Reeves
come back.
of streamers. He can do no wrong, really. So he's wherever he goes, his player base and fan base is going to fall. But the issue that does arise is with Doc being on YouTube by himself, and most of the people he used to play games with on Twitch, he's not fucking allowed to stream with any of them. He's not allowed to be on any of their streams.
He can't. Yeah, he can't. He can game with them, not on stream.
Yeah,
at all. And that's because of Twitch. That's because of Twitch's ban. That's not because of him being on YouTube. That's because of Twitch's ban.
The only like good thing to that is that he does great on his own. I think we mentioned.
I honestly, we've been on this before. I prefer his content on his own.
When he's on his
character
own,
comes out a lot better.
Prime character, it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he's playing he's playing a lot of Flight Sim right now. He played Flight Sim 2020.
Bro, don't knock Flight Sim, man.
He played the shit out of that. And real quick on that, did you guys see, like, so you guys brought it up to me that you can see your fucking house because they're using Bing Maps or whatever else to like geocache it or whatever.
3D mesh everything.
Yeah, and so now that form of cyberbullying is like showing a clip of a 747 crashing into your house. It's like,
oh god, that's awesome.
It's fucking like, okay, all right, whatever. I mean, to me, it's the reverse of that. If you found the time to fucking fly to my house and then crash a 747 into it, like, I know what to even get off the ground in that game is a fucking pain. So I'm like, nah, fuck that, dude.
You took 2 hours to fly to my house and crash 747 into it? Man, you must love me.
Like, virtually. Like, yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, I mean, he's there. Congratulations to Doc. Shroud, congrats, I guess. I don't know. I don't find Shroud that entertaining. Like chat saying
apparently
he's a
not
human.
A lot of people do. I guess his initial stream, like, while it was a big return, it wasn't as big as what Doc had or what Ninja
it was as big
put
as
up
Doc.
whenever he.
No, Doc had 500,000. He had 300,000.
I was about to say I thought the Doc had 300,000. I didn't know he had.
But no, Shroud's sitting around like 30 to 25K right now.
The ones that have been cracking me up is the clips of Doc like pretend talking to Shroud, and he's like, hey Doc, I'm back on Twitch. I got 300,000. Doc's like, hey, awesome, dude, cool. Dude. Shroud, he's like, bro, Doc, you're just jealous, bro. And he's like, no, bro, no, I'm really not. Yeah, you are, Doc. No, bro, I'm not.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
I love that.
Again, that's
shit,
what makes
dude.
Doc. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, Doc. That's why Doc's amazing.
I think he got those numbers. It was because of the goatee and the beard. You guys see that?
Yeah. Dude, Coke Carnage jumped in on that. Was like, bro, if you're gonna come back trying to look like me, can you at least ask me first before you do it? Like, it's just funny. So now we get into the bulk of the show, right? Like, this is what I'm super excited about to talk about. And the next couple of topics are all games related and games we have played and games that we're excited about and things of that nature. So, Avengers beta. Like, just need to take a second for anybody that listens to our show and has never been to our channel, has never been and seen my stream or
just show them your arms, man.
Seen me like legit. Like, I have a whole fucking arm tattooed up of Marvel shit. So to say that like I am excited is an understatement. Like, you know, to say that this is something that
did the beta live up to your expectations?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, you have tattoos of Anthem 2.0. That's sweet, dude.
At least I'm not wearing a fucking hat with my name on it, dumbass. Get out of here.
Oh, shit.
And if just so everybody understands too, there's a poster back there that says Fortnite I just want everybody to make sure. No, it doesn't. It says Fortnite. Oh, yeah, you wrote over it.
Do you see? I can't point the right way.
Point.
It says fuck shite.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so yes, to answer your question, Bill, it 100% lived up to my expectations. It is. There's some stuff that needs to get fixed, and I've already read the patch notes that they're bringing out for this next beta. And that makes me very happy that they are actually paying attention to what is being said. But the patch notes,
they have to.
Well, I mean, they don't have to. They don't have to do shit. They could just be like, "Fuck it."
They have to, dude. Like that beta was buggy as fuck. If they release that like it is right there,
they still don't have to. I mean, but
I mean, they don't have to if they don't want to make money. No, you're right. They don't have to.
I fucking hate money. Release the piece of shit now.
There's plenty of games that do it. There are plenty of fucking games that do it, man. So, in any case,
76.
It is.
You said it, not me.
The game, like I said, from a technical standpoint and like optimization, it needs optimization. Like, I was able to brute force the game. I was, obviously, again, we've said this multiple times. My PC is just able. I have the unrealistic build, right? Like nobody does this, and so my system was able to brute force it. And there were still issues where like there were times where it started to chug a little bit. But for the most part, from a gameplay perspective, taking out the technical issues that they had, fuck, man, it was such a fun game to play. Like I don't even know where to start. Like it just makes me, I mean, it really makes me, I have yet to play a game that has made me feel like I am Iron Man. That like they nail the flight, they nail the movement, they nail the repulsor blast, they nail the aspects.
They didn't nail the voice though. That's honestly,
I don't have a problem with the voice.
Everybody's giving it complete accolades, but I've seen so many people like very unhappy with how the voice acting is going on.
It's because they want Robert Downey Jr. It's good.
Yeah,
we talked about this prior,
right?
With me and Sin. It's like the one thing that I wish that they would have done, but I know that they couldn't do it, and that they probably shouldn't have done it, because if they tied it in with the MCU, it would have been, it would have locked them down one alley that they could have gone down, right? Right. But that's the whole thing, is like not having it as Robert Downey Jr., not having it as the Thor we know, not having it as the Hulk we know. It opens them up to a broader sense of being able to go into comics, multiple different universes, rather than just down the MCU route.
Yeah, but that's not the issues that I'm hearing. I'm hearing that whenever they hear Iron Man talking, all they see is like it just brings up images of Nathan Drake and all that.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all. I mean, and trust me, as a super fan, as someone that is like a fucking diehard super fan of the Marvel, universe, I am going in, and I would be nitpicky of that. But when I hear it, that to me, my mind snaps and goes, okay, cool. This is Iron Man. Like, that is Iron Man. This is Kamala. This is the Hulk. This is Black Widow. This is Cap. That's Thor. Like, I'm not being like, well, it doesn't sound like Robert Downey Jr. It sounds a little bit more like Nathan Drake. Like, and again, for me, especially as hypercritical as I am of games, and like, I drilled fucking Ghost of Tsushima over like the dialogue and voice lines. What I'll tell you is that some of the voice lines get fucking repetitive, like when you're in a fight and you'll hear it. But the way that they do it, and they nail Tony Stark as a fucking character. I mean, his fucking voice lines.
Some of his comments that
are great.
That last one when we were doing that third level for me to get the beta. Remember what I started laughing? You're like, "What's up?" And I was like, dude, fucking, your character just said some stupid shit,
Yeah,
it was right down the line of fucking. It was
it's something like about a signature or wanting to get an autograph or some shit or something. I don't know, but it's just that perfect thing, right? So like that's the whole thing that they should have focused on and encompassed, and it is making you feel like that. I mean, when you watch these characters go at it, whether it is, I didn't play the Hulk because I didn't like the Hulk. The Hulk was not my character. I didn't like his movement capabilities. But when you watch the Hulk being played and you're seeing it, or if you play as the Hulk, you are like, he is a fucking angry motherfucker.
Like there's a couple times when we were in the harm room that I was doing executions and fucking Sin's like, what the fuck just is going on right now?
Yeah.
And my dude's just slamming bitches into walls. And
I mean,
shit.
he's
like,
ripping people apart. Like he'll pick up again, and it's the animation, man. Like he picks up fucking a guy and literally uses him as a fucking bat. And is just whopping the shit out of other people with him. And then there was a time where like, I'm like, yo, we can't get past this point, Enigma or Plague. I need you to like drop the dude and fucking kill him because
I was like, nope.
Because we can't progress the story because you're holding this dude.
Like smack him back and forth like
you smash him into the ground. Like you're just beating this dude into the fucking ground like there's no tomorrow. I mean, it's
awesome.
It's crazy, but that's the kind of stuff that they nail so well. And for anybody, and I'll say this one more time, for anybody that knows and has watched the MCU or knows comic books, there are certain movements for Tony whenever he, does his repulsor blast. And in most games, it's like you've seen, it's this. You go boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's just this constantly, right? Doing repulsor blast. Maybe you get a little bit of this, like when he does his chest or whatever else. In this,
the
it's
little crotch thrust,
yeah.
Repulsor blast from the dick.
In this, it's so much of just this fluid. Like he shoots like this, then he'll shoot like that, then he'll go underneath his arm. He'll blast her away.
Around,
I mean, it's
some
just
Devil May Cry style, like
it's
bullet time action.
Yeah.
No, they did good. They did amazing job on the animation.
Black Widow, her guns actually remind me of Devil May Cry. Like she was going like,
right, like they fucking nailed those characters to a T. And the little bit that you got to play as Thor, holy fuck, man. Like if you ever wanted to feel like Thor, I mean, you're sitting there throwing the goddamn hammer and you can stick it to fucking people. You can go over there, start going into melee combat, fly up, call Mjolnir down to you, bring the hammer back down. I mean, it's just, it's
still fucking salty.
It's so fucking good, man. It's so good. And so getting away from that, right? Because I can sit here and gush about this, and you guys literally are gonna have to cut me the fuck off because I'm telling you, like, I'm just super excited about this. But like, the other side of it too is the way that they handled the war table and the way that they handle co-op play is very well done. So essentially, what happens here is that you're able to hop in, hop out during any kind of mission. And what I was worried about was that they were not going to allow for the entire game to be played in co-op because they had talked about it a little bit, but they talked mainly about drop zones and drop zones and something else. But the entire game is playable via co-op, which is phenomenal. And the cool thing is that you can go in this and play as your character and then have your buddies join in, or you can play as your characters will join into the game and they are your characters. So if you leveled up Hulk a certain way, that is your Hulk. You level up Kamala a certain way, that is your Kamala. Like, it's not this like hodgepodge of like, well, we kind of, put together what we think is best, kind of thing. So
what kind of build variety is there? Because you're saying like it's your Kamala, it's your Hulk, that kind of stuff. Is there actually like a decent amount of variation with like equipment and abilities and stuff like that, or is it like everybody going to go down like
there's like
a similar cookie cutter route?
Correct me if I'm wrong. There's like two like skill trees that are unlocked in the beta, and a third one that's gonna be
so
there's
three skill trees in the beta that you can go down in your
progression though.
Right in your primary tree. So the way it works is you have primary, secondary, and tertiary. So there's three total varieties that main like avenues you can go down, and then inside those there's three more avenues. So like for me, I built as rockets. Like my whole entire build for Iron Man was around a rocket build. And in the beta, you only got to go to level 45, or power level 45. That was the highest level you could go. But you can only go, but you essentially you got enough skill points to max out those entire trees in that. But I did not feel like I was being pigeonholed into like I had to play this way. Like it's very good about making you like be able to do whatever you want. And there's different ultimates that you can have. There's also different not passive abilities, but support abilities. So each character has support abilities that they can level. Like Kamala heals. I would give armor and give it so you could do ground attacks. Like you could do these. I don't know what they're called, but like basically you can run up, press E on somebody, and do like this animated like attack on them,
like
and stuff like that.
Executions is what I like to call them.
Yeah.
Was that like a quick time event?
It's not really a quick time event, but yeah, it brings you into like this. It brings you into like a cinematic view type deal.
Yeah,
but yeah.
But are there? I've seen like quick time events. Is that in multiplayer?
There are some quick time events. Like I know the fact that like there was one when I was Hulk where I grabbed a spider bot. And like you have to sit there and tap E to like pull the fucking head off of him.
Yeah.
So
but it's not like a normal.
Not full of those. Right?
Yeah, there's like a handful. Like I only ran into them like very sparingly.
That's my biggest like issue with quick time events is when they just fill the game with them.
I'll tell you too, man. The game is fucking hard. Like if you play on brutal, it's fucking hard.
I was about to say you fucking refuse to play on
right. I'm not going to play on anything but brutal. Like I'm going to play the game on the hardest difficulty because in my opinion that's the way to play the game. Like
but that's good. I mean, hard is actually hard. It's
fucking bad. It's rough, dude. Like because they also too do a good job of like making sure that it's not just I'm going to go in there and whop the shit out of everything, right? Like if for me as Iron Man, I needed to play and be able to do aerial stuff. I needed to go out. Like my job in a lot of our fights was trying to take down turrets, trying to take down the aerial shit. Because again, Hulk, doesn't have. I mean, he has throws and stuff like that. Kamala can do some range stuff, but like, it's hard for when Enigma was playing Black Widow because he's grounded. Like, yeah, he can grapple, but it's still rough for him to get up and kind of take that stuff out. So my job was aerial, right? The Hulk's to get in there and just fucking wail on shit. And,
it's kind of the tank almost.
Right. So they do a good job of that, but they also do a good job too of like, different status effects. I mean, we were getting like there was these guys that would throw down black holes and you'd get pulled into them and sucked in.
Fucking annoying as
you'd
shit,
get
dude, on the Hulk.
Yeah, you'd get frozen.
So fucking annoying.
You get frozen and you'd have to be able to take these guys. There was guys that, oh my god, that one fight where we were going in and you have as you're playing, you get you're building up your hero meter and hero so you can use your abilities. And there were guys that drained it. You got hit, it drained it. And it like literally that entire fight.
Yeah.
We were
there was like 6 of them. There was like 6 of them, and we were trying to find out where they were. We couldn't figure out what they were.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, it's this one. And then fucking Sid's like, no, bro, it's these ones over here. And fucking Plague's like, no, it's these ones over here. And I'm like, no, I'm telling you, dude, I'm looking at them right now.
Yeah, it's just it's so good. And then we got to do the fucking, and again, guys, stop me, ask me a question, wherever you want. But like, then we got to one of like the raid boss, or not a raid boss, but we got to a boss.
Pretty much a raid boss.
Yeah, well, it was a boss. It was like a dungeon kind of style thing, right? And we go into this moment, and while I'm saying this, let me tell you too that they nail fucking scale very, very well in this. Like your character, if you're the Hulk, you feel big until you find something that's bigger than you, and you're like shit. And then as far as just being able to like have it to where, because it is a difficult thing to do to have ground units and aerial units be able to play in that same field and not feel like, oh, my ceiling is too low, and so I'm not going to be able to play super like the way I want to. I never felt flying as Iron Man that I was forced to be grounded. Even inside of a building, even inside of a room, I still felt like I could get up and get height where I need to and things like that. But we went into this one area and we're like, oh my god, fuck, we like, I'm like, look to the left, and it's this big ass fucking like giant spider, like beetle bug looking fucking machine, right? And we're like, and Plague's like, oh my god.
So like if you played Destiny had an event, that like it had like a little spider dude, and you had to take down the legs.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you've seen that before, but it was very reminiscent of that, just like on a 3 times larger scale.
Yeah.
A lot of people are comparing a lot of the aspects of this, like Avengers Destiny is basically what I've been seeing it like slotted as, and that's not necessarily a bad thing because D2 is doing very well, and I hear that the longevity of the game and stuff like that, like what their future intents with this game is going to be more of that kind of a production. They're going to be doing like
And see
a Destiny style push.
The good thing that Marvel Avengers I think has over like the longevity of like Destiny per se, right? Is like Destiny relies entirely on their content, right? They like not just their content, but like their raids and shit like that and their expansions, right?
Yep.
Whereas I think that Marvel Avengers is going to rely on that, but it's also going to be able to rely on releasing new champions, you know, like new heroes, right? So I think that's one thing that they kind of have over Destiny, whereas Destiny only has 3 classes. With Marvel Avengers, you could have hundreds of fucking heroes if they wanted.
And then if you're the build variety is what you guys is
build variety was great. Like there was times at which you could swap out stuff in like the Hulk, where like Hulk was resistant to gamma radiation, obviously because that was he's made of gamma radiation. Basically, he was fucking exposed to it.
Right.
But there's also stuff that it's like pen particles. I know that.
Oh my god, they're
first started, so cool. The pen particles were giving you some issues with the fucking first boss.
Yeah, fuck, dude. What?
What's that?
Pen particles. So it's particles that shrink you. So like,
Ant-Man
yeah,
stuff.
it's Ant-Man stuff. So like you would, it has this thing like after a certain amount of damage or certain hits or whatever else, you have like a 20% chance to shrink the enemy with pen particles. And for me, the problem was that I was I shrunk the Abomination to a point where I couldn't fight him. He would never come back. He disappeared. He would vanish.
You know that yeah, I was about to say, you know the Ant-Man movie where they go into Quantum Realm? That was fucking Abomination.
Yeah, so I couldn't progress the story. So like it was that was a little frustrating
work to do, but that's a cool idea, honestly, though.
So but sorry, Nate, I didn't mean to cut you off. But yeah.
No, you're good, man. Go ahead.
I mean, it's
this is your segment.
This is that kind of stuff that the finite little detail that they put into it, and that was my concern. Like I know that other people like Enigma had watched a review, and some other people had watched reviews, and there was a lot of concerns. But a lot of that stuff,
very concerned.
A lot of that stuff that they talked about, I was like, this is because it's a console thing, and I can tell you right now, like it is 100%. This game is dude. It's fucking. Like big. I mean, it's a beautiful game and there's a lot going on. So like I can't imagine playing it on a controller. Like I know Plagued was playing on a controller. It seems
like a game I would want to like if I were to play it, I would probably at this point go for Hulk.
Right.
From what I've seen. And that seems like it would be more controller friendly.
I mean, Hulk would 100% be more controller friendly.
Yeah, maybe.
From what I've seen, like Black Widow or that Kamala girl seemed like it'd be a lot easier on.
Or Iron Man, even. I feel like Iron Man, you almost need a mouse and keyboard.
Oh yeah, mouse and keyboard for sure for Iron Man, 100%. Yeah. But like people were worried about controls, and this was the PS4 stuff. People were worried about complaining about controls. Complaining about frame rate, complaining about all these other kind of things. And yes, not to say that like I know Enigma was having some issues with frame rate, which it needs it needs to be optimized and those kind of things. But like I didn't have any issues realistically for the most part.
Your computer's the like top 5%.
I'm talking about I'm talking about controls. I'm not talking about frame rate. I'm talking about controls. Like the way the game controlled. Like I did not feel like the
frame
Hulk
rate
was
inadvertently is going to affect controls as well.
But what I'm talking about though is that they said like the way that the Hulk felt, like he felt sluggish. He felt like he was just.
The only thing I've looked at, really, I've looked at a little bit of gameplay, and everyone but the Hulk seemed good. The Hulk seemed a bit clunky, a bit like
he honestly isn't. He honestly
he's
isn't. Like
not.
I thought the same thing when I fucking went into it because I watched the Skill Up review for it, and they said the exact same thing. They were like, the Hulk feels sluggish. He feels very slow. Yeah, his controls are very, very clunky. When I got into the game, he was slow and he was lumbering, but it's like he's fucking Hulk.
Right.
It makes sense, but his controls, once you understood and kind of got a grasp of his control scheme and everything like that, they were very fluid, and he could actually be very quick. Like we give fucking Sin shit because he's like,
I can't control it.
I hated Hulk, and this like that, and he's like, oh, fucking Hulk doesn't have the fucking mobility. He has mobility, dude. Like he can get wherever the fuck he wants to go.
He's just,
I'm sure with upgrades and stuff and like time playing him, you'll get more.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like Plagued and Enigma both played the Hulk and they played fun and they liked him. And I, you know, he's just not my character. I had issues with like controlling some of his mobility stuff and like getting some of his jumps down because
I was laughing my ass off when he was trying to do it. I was on Kamala and we were running through his first mission and he's like, we sat there for like 5 minutes with him trying to jump up on a fucking platform.
I just could not get it down. But it, you know, but that's the thing. That's the Hulk, right? That's what the Hulk is meant to be. And unless you're, and this is the problem too, like you cannot go into this game being like, well, everything I've seen in the Hulk movies and whatever else, like he's been able to jump fucking 17 miles. No, well, by lore, he's actually not. Like he doesn't do that. By lore, he does not jump up fucking 500,000 feet in the air and come crashing down. He's never done that. Like that's not Hulk's thing. Like his whole thing is about being strong, and he does. Like he charges up his jumps. Like he has like a 3 jump kind of thing and whatever else. And I don't know. I felt like they nailed so many things.
That PS2, it was either PS2 or PS3. There was a Hulk game, Hulk Infinite PS2. Destruction or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that game nailed a Hulk gameplay really, really well. Is this like?
To me, this is premiere.
Similar to that.
This is, to me, this nails the gameplay of these characters better than anything I've ever seen.
Okay.
Like 100%. I mean, just from a destruction level, from all of that kind of stuff, it just nails it. You know, and the loot thing is a great, like they have a very, very great like range of gear and being able to, you know, that loot.
Does it feel rewarding?
Yes. 100, dude, when you get that legendary and you get those fucking like those, you know, there's some, we were playing and like poor Plagued, like during my gameplay, didn't get a fucking single fucking legend, like no purples, no nothing. I was just like, oh look, there's a purple. Oh look, there's a purple.
Whatever else. With Grim Dawn with y'all.
Right.
Much, yeah.
But like it hits on those, and then we were playing in his game and he was getting, you know, more purples. But that loot chase, that loot tease, man, is there in full effect. Yeah. Like
good. I need the sound cues. I need that like flashiness. I need you know, when I get something good, I need that.
The only problem that I have with it is the fact that like I was under the assumption that like gear was going to change your character the way it looks, and we haven't seen terribly too much of it. I don't know if like maybe the legendary items or whatever are going to change the way that your character looks a little bit.
I think they're saving that specifically for cosmetics to sell.
Exactly.
The last podcast we did, you all mentioned that too, and I had people in the chat that were saying no, that's definitely not a thing, and you guys were saying it definitely is a thing. It could be in the.
They were talking about it. I mean,
few items, because they did say that there would be like, well, I don't know, it might be abilities. I definitely remember them saying, you know,
that's what we were talking about was the war table. Like, they were talking about like abilities like like Iron Man's laser, you could change the colors. Yeah. And I think that's where we got confused on it, and that's where I got confused on it too. Was I was like, okay, maybe, you know, because they're talking about that, are we going to be able to change the you know, the direction of like what our character looks like? But I'm okay with it in the long run, because it's like when you're looking down an iconic hero skin, you don't want it to have like a fucking headband, right?
Right.
Like a random ass fucking headband. Or
I want a fucking Ryu skin for Hulk.
There you go.
I mean, from what,
dude, they had one skin in there, the Hulk that
fucking
I got,
looks like a pimp,
straight
bro.
off the bat, fucking pimp daddy fucking Hulk with the fucking fedora.
He's got a tank top, he's got a tank top, fucking chains, fucking blinged out rings, dude. Like it was, and that's the thing too. Like once I really thought about it, you know, a lot of the skins I was getting for Iron Man, I was like, dude, this is fucking dope. I look amazing. And if you really think about it, like there's so much combat going on, you're not gonna be, it's not like WoW where you're seeing your character. Like, I mean, you see the character, but like you don't have enough time, man. Like you're in those fights fucking just blasting away. Like it doesn't, you know, I don't know. I don't really care. Like and I think it's the same thing like from you, like people that are like Destiny and they're like, oh, I care about my character and how it looks. Why? You only see a gun. Like, except for whenever you get on a fucking Spectre or whatever the fuck they're called, you know what I mean? Like you don't really see them that much. So I don't, you know, whatever else, like it didn't really matter that much to me in that. So what I can say is that, you know, from a lot of the stuff that the devs are saying, and I've been following their forum posts and their Reddit threads, and I've been following their tweets. I've made a couple posts to them as well, and like they are promising that this is something that is just not like a one and done, like a 1 year, you know, content, that they are, you know, committed to doing this. We've heard that before, and we've gotten, you know, debated into it, but I can tell you that I am like I have not been this excited about a game in so long, and this just for something for me to be able to put down like League and say
this is like your Elden Ring.
Yeah, this is, you know, this has the potential like
this
to build, like, I'm legit, I've talked about, like, if it does have the Destiny style, I'm legit building a community behind it. I will do raids, I will take people under my wing, I will find out, I will min max games, I will min max characters, like, I will build this to be what I hope it can be, you know, as long as they give me the tools to do so, because that's what it is. So yeah, I mean,
but they didn't give me my damn
you'll get it
Thor, man.
You'll get it. And just think about it, dude. It'll be so savory. So but I will tell everybody, right, this weekend, right, tomorrow kicks off the open beta. So if you have, like, you do not have to have pre-ordered the game, you do not have to do anything. Go and play it. Like, go, and they tell you like it starts at like 9 p.m. your time. It opened up at like noon last time. So
wait, this is on Steam, right?
Yeah, it's on Steam. Yep. Go, you can go and download it right now and go play with it. And there are some settings that you need to turn off. Turn off exclusive full screen mode, unless they fixed it, but exclusive full screen mode caused a lot of problems.
Post process.
There's some, I can work you through some settings. If you have questions about it, just hit me up in Discord or in Steam or somewhere. I will be more than happy to give you kind of the secret sauce to how to get that game to run well. But I recommend going and playing it. It's completely free for the next 3 days. And one last thing, sorry. The other thing I like about it too is that not everything is spelled out for you. So like we did a mission that had a random loot drop that gave me a code, or that gave us, because we were playing together, us a code that then opened up a special mission. I have since talked to people that were like, what fucking mission are you talking about? That they didn't get that mission because the loot, the code didn't drop in that particular area. So I think that's fucking cool. Like that's like they need that. That's shit that they need to do. So
I want that, and I want tons of secrets.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there's tons of secrets.
There's secrets
like,
for sure.
We spent plenty of time in maps just dicking around with fucking what we thought were buttons, and I'm just sitting there on fucking Black Widow shooting a fucking vent because I'm like, that's got to be a fucking button.
Yeah. They don't. And the thing is too, they don't do a damn thing to tell you that it's there. Like you kind of have to notice it. Like there was one we were in one of the AIM facilities, and we just happened to be standing over a vent, and I think it was Enigma that shot the vent, and it was like, oh, this fucking this broke, and something is underneath here, and we're like, what? So then we all are running around trying to find these vents that are breakable, and just because you find them doesn't mean that you got it. Like you have to hit them in the right order. I mean, dude, they did their fucking homework, man. They nailed they looked at like, what does this work in Diablo? Why does this work in Destiny? Why does this work in these types of games? And they meshed it together in this, and they really have put together something great. So
the one good thing that I am looking forward to is like hearing more about if they're going to handle raids kind of like Destiny. If you're going to get a bigger roster of heroes,
I doubt it,
or if it's just going to be a 4-man.
I think it'll be
because like if it's just going to be a 4-man, I might be a little disappointed with that, but I don't know. It depends on the.
I don't think I would want it to be any bigger than 4-man because that limits who all can participate in raids. Like some people don't want.
I mean, you got 6 characters, so I mean that's like right off the bat that you've got 6 characters, so it's like one of those things where it's like I could see them doing like 5-man raids maybe.
Well, the only issue I have with that is that, well, I guess in this it doesn't necessarily do that. Like in Destiny, I never raided because I never could find a group big enough to do it, and I never wanted to take the time to do it. So but this they autofill your characters in.
You have matchmaking and you have your characters, your own characters that you can go into with.
So
I think it'd be pretty cool to have
I think it would too, because we did do raids, and I thought that the raids in Destiny were fun. It's just like when we did the raids, we were getting kind of fucking jacked over by another chat.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about that. But
I don't know. I mean, it's
that's the only reason why I hated the raids in fucking Destiny. It was because we had a bad experience with them. But the couple of raids that we did do, where it was like we were taking them seriously, I enjoyed.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't. I think in this though 4. I don't know if I'd want more than 4, personally. But we'll see. Again, I definitely don't want 8. That's too many. Way too fucking much.
Yeah, it's too many. But I could see like 5 or 6. Like I think that would be a good roster.
So, cool. So moving on, I know that Bill is super excited about this. I am somewhat disappointed because of what the first part of it is. I was hoping that we were going to get a new game instead, which you still may, but
it very well could be like a teaser for a new game coming out.
But yeah,
I don't
take it away,
know
Bill.
what Ubisoft has plans, but the next season of Rainbow Six Siege is on the test servers right now, and this is the first season of them kicking off a new gameplay model. So everything prior Siege has always been 2 operators per season. They are now cutting that down to 1 operator per season from here on out. And that extra dev time is going to be spent on gameplay issues, in-game events, and reworks for both maps and operators, because they realize that a lot of the older maps aren't living up to modern map standards that they're setting. They just they need overhauled, and they've been doing that with a lot of the more problematic maps. One of the meme characters, Mr. Tachanka, is finally going to be getting his rework very soon. They've been teasing that and stuff. So they're taking aspects of the game that were broken before and just don't play out the way that they thought it was going to. Like Tachanka, if anybody doesn't play Siege, he's a big burly Russian dude that sits on he has a mounted turret that he can sit down and sit behind of it. Well, sitting still in Siege is one of the worst things you can possibly do, and that just leaves you extremely easy to pick off. So from a gameplay fundamental standpoint, he is and has been the worst character in the game for a very long time. He's finally getting his rework. It's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully it will make him viable.
What are they going to do? Give him a fucking minigun he can carry around?
They're taking it so that his turret is now his primary. He's carrying
that's cool.
around.
Yeah,
he's carrying around the dish plate.
That's pretty cool, actually.
And it's special. It's got a low rate of fire, but it has increased destructibility, so he can use it to open up rotation holes in walls and stuff.
That's
so
cool.
it puts big chunks and things.
When I played it, I remember playing Tachanka, and I actually enjoyed Tachanka. I enjoyed Tachanka, and I enjoyed Montagna. I think is his name.
Montagna,
Montaigne,
whatever you want to call
him.
I can imagine he's a 3-speed then, or is he even slower than a 3-speed with his primary?
He's a 1. It's 1 speed, so he's still going to maintain his 1 speed. His 1 speed status. He's still going to be a slow boy carrying around a big ass.
He's only got 1 chain. Is that what you're telling me? No clutch, only 1 chain.
But his gadget is going to be a jerry-rigged incendiary grenade launcher made out of. I can't remember what the World War II rifle it is, but it's basically a modified World War II style rifle that shoots incendiary grenades. So they will shoot out, they'll bounce off of surfaces, and then they will leave a AoE of fire on the ground for denial. Kind of like what Smoke does, but different, and kind of like what Goyo does, but different.
Goyo. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be the similar fire effect. It's gonna be kind of like Capitao, only for defense.
Gotcha.
He's gonna be carried around like an M1A or what?
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Do they do Do they do the reworks of these characters often? Is that something because in League they'll do reworks every so often as well? I mean, is that what they do?
They have started doing that. Most of them are a lot softer than what they're doing with Tachanka. Tachanka is the biggest rework they've done. They are rebuilding him from the ground up. They have not done that with any other operator. I think the closest one would be Glaz, where they made because he used to just be a regular sniper with a scope. They gave him thermal optics on his scope so that whenever he's holding it still, he can actually people glow in his scope. And he can see through smokes and stuff with that.
Are they close to the 100? Because they're doing 100 operators before
they are not. They're only in I think they just bypassed 50 with 0.
Son of a bitch. Because aren't they doing 100 before they even start talking about the next game or doing the next game?
They have no plans on doing a Siege 2 at this point. Siege is in
please, dear God, don't do Siege 2. Do a better game.
But and I hope that they continue doing this, are using the dev time to fix a lot of the core aspects of the game. So going into this next season, they're adding a new ping system, similar to what Apex is doing with its ping system, where you can actually ping gadgets.
That's
the
actually
gadget
really
icon,
good, man.
The gadget icon will pop up for everybody on your team. You can do this from drones and cameras.
I honestly think that in 2020, and moving forward, I don't see a reason why games shouldn't have a ping. Like multiplayer games should not have pings. Like that makes no fucking sense to me.
I think so many games.
I mean, it did have pings, but they were super limited. Like you could only ping from your operator. You could only do a location ping, or if you were in a camera, you could scan operators. There was no way to actually ping like items from cameras. They're fixing that so that you can actually do all that stuff. It's in a effort to make the game more accessible, basically, to make it so that you don't have to know exactly what room this item is, what doorway, stuff like that. You can just literally ping it, be like Frostmat on ping, and then people can see
without
it.
a mic can that will really help people with like no mics or anything like that.
Even with mics, like there's been multiple times where I've been in like an FPS and I'm like, oh fucking he's over there, and they're like, what, where I'm like, the fucking wall. How am I supposed to explain this to you? There's a wall, he was behind it.
Yeah, so that's something that they're adding. They're also adding new sights to the game. So the ACOG is being reduced to a 2.5 zoom from, it was originally a 3 times zoom. They're reducing the ACOG to a 2.5 zoom. They're taking it from every single defense operator that had an ACOG. So there will be only one defense operator with an ACOG, and that is Vigil and his Bosch G double barrel shotgun.
The sniper.
So, and they are adding, so the level 1 sights are still there. There's still the holographic. You still got your reflex. You still got your red dot. They're adding another version of a red dot, another version of a holographic, and they're adding a 1.25 and a 1.5. No, it's a 1.5 and a 2 point zoom scope for select operators. They're completely reworking who gets the higher optics based on the operator and the gun. And so if, say, good example, Rook is going to get the 2x optic for his MP5. Doc, on the other hand, is only going to get a 1.5 because Doc has been a problem for a while with spawn peeking. He can easily pop out a window, shoot somebody. If he takes damage, he just heals up. He's good to go. He was problematic. They're giving him a reduced optic because of that. They both have the same gun, but Rook gets a higher scope because of that. So they're working their balancing around some of those scopes to help alleviate some of the issues that operators have, both bringing some operators up and bringing some other ones down.
That's good. That was one thing I was going to ask you, if they were going to do anything to Doc, because I hate Doc.
Yeah, no, they 100% are. They're also nerfing Thatcher to the ground. People think they're making it so that his EMPs will no longer destroy any defense gadget. It is just a 15-second disable. So Legion mines, they won't destroy. ADSs, they won't destroy. Bandit tricking, if it'll disable the battery, you can pick it up and then you can set it back down and the battery is back to being active, but it's making it so that you're not going to be destroying his gadgets. They're trying to bring Kali and IQ up to speed with that. And Fuse, because Fuse has always been on the lower end of things, and people are finally recognizing that his niche isn't for fragging with his cluster charges, it's for clearing out gadgets. So, but the biggest thing with the new season, like I said, they're going down to one operator, and they're starting it off with a bang by bringing in Sam Fisher from the Splinter Cell series. He's going to be codename Zero in this game. But this is basically them opening up cameo appearances. Again, it's a Ubisoft franchise, so it's not that big of a stretch.
Yeah, they're going down the Dead by Daylight route.
Yeah, but this will give them the option that they could possibly license other characters from other games if they wanted to. They could potentially bring like Snake or a Call of Duty like mainstay character into it.
That's cool. I would like that for the future of Siege, honestly.
What are you gonna do? Be a box? Yeah. What is that gonna be your fucking move? Is just be a box?
It would be great. I would be about it.
Fucking set a trap down like a fucking balloon trap. So when they walk over it, they get fucking or yanked out of the fucking bed.
Put the nudie mag in the corner so someone just gets distracted with the nudie mag.
What they're doing with Zero seems really, really good. So they're bringing in his
why do they gotta call him
his C3000 from the Splinter Cell games. They're bringing in his rifle. They are also bringing in his Argus launcher, his little camera launcher. So what he's going to do is it'll shoot onto a wall, and whether it's reinforced, soft, or not, it'll create a two-way camera that you can cycle between, and it bores through the wall, so you can actually see on one side of the wall, and then you can flip it back to the side that you shot it on. So this can work on floors. This can work on any surface that has any kind of destructibility to it. So a reinforced wall, a soft wall, any of that, and it has a laser attached to it. You get one charge with it, and so you can use it to destroy a defense gadget from the other side of a wall or just scout.
Oh, he's an attacker?
He is an attacker, yes.
Oh, okay. I thought he was a defense for some reason.
Why the fuck are they calling him Zero? Why not just call him Sam Fisher? I mean, fuck, they own the property. It's Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. It's Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. Like, just call him fucking...
Don't know.
I hate that about Dead by Daylight too. It's like, what's Pyramid Head's called? He's the Executioner.
The Executioner.
Like, what the fuck? No, that's Pyramid Head.
It's a
just pay for the goddamn rights. It's a payment thing. It's a cost thing. I know why it comes out.
It's a cost thing, and it's also a thematically every operator.
It's not a cost thing on their part because, like you said, they own the franchise. Like there's literally no cost for them.
It's more thematic, I think, than anything. Team Rainbow, they all go by code names. Their lore page has their real names in it, but they all go by their code names and stuff like that. So, like and Zero being the original operative, that's his thing. He's baseline, so that's why they went with that. I think it's
the OG neat. Bro.
Dude, I want a real fucking Splinter Cell game again. I want to bet.
I think it has the potential to be like, this could be a potential like tease for a new Splinter game.
Dude, they were
because
so good.
his look looks completely different than he did in any of the other Splinter Cell games. It's an older Sam Fisher. He's got a fucking beard. He's graying out. Like, it could very well be like
Daddy Fisher vibes.
It goes twofold also. So it could be a teaser for a new game, and I guarantee this is what's going on. His elite skin's going to be his standard sneak suit with like the goggles and everything like that. So
one thing, Sin, stop picking your toes.
I'm not picking my toes. I'm sitting here beating on my chair because I don't have anything to add to this conversation. But I will say I'm keeping my rage to a minimum. So
You're doing good. You're doing good. Yep. He's holding back.
But yeah, that's what's going on with Siege. A lot of people are calling it Siege 2.0 because of all the stuff that they are fixing and reworking with a lot of the core aspects of the game. They're going in, and it seems like they're taking the dev time that they're taking from developing two operators and actually putting it to good use, which gives me hope for the future. One of the biggest issues with the game right now is its sound, and they have went into their blogs and said that they are overhauling how sound is packaged and delivered to the player. They're doing it, rebuilding the system from the ground up for the next like generation of Siege for what they're doing. So by the end of this year, they should have a full new sound system, similar to how they went and completely overhauled the recoil system of the guns a few years ago.
Yeah, I definitely think they also, like you said, rework some of the old maps, because now that they've got like a bunch of these new operators, they've toyed more with like verticality and stuff, and I feel like some of the old maps still definitely are
Chalet is the map that's getting reworked with this patch as well. And if you guys don't play Siege or don't know Chalet, it was notorious for two things: for spawn peaks, because there's a bunch of windows that you could not like get a good angle on, and if somebody's waiting at the window, it's basically their reaction time versus how quick you can snap up there, unless you're like walking around pre-firing the corner. And two, there's a lot of entrances to Chalet that you could only get up to via ladder. For some reason, that's the only map in the game that doesn't have rappel on like every outside surface. And those ladders are extremely, I feel like they have no place in the game because you cannot defend yourself while climbing up that ladder.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the map they're reworking now. They realized it was problematic. They've alleviated a lot of those issues. So I think they're going in a good direction with things. They definitely are recognizing that the operators that they've brought in are breaking the old maps, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, right. So, that's what it seems. That's good.
Yeah.
Good responses.
Cool.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Still
real
best
quick,
shooter on the market.
Yeah,
There
dude,
it is.
don't
Oh no!
don't
Oh,
do
no.
it. Don't
Sorry.
poke
It's only
me.
getting better.
Here it
Don't
comes.
fucking poke me, bro. Fucking Scruffy tried poking me earlier. It's not gonna fucking work, man. Y'all can all suck a dick.
He's
Real
been doing
quick.
yoga, guys.
I'm not doing yoga. I just don't give a fuck about the shitty ass fucking piece of
He's
shit.
doing Hulk therapy. He
shooter.
just keeps himself always angry, so he's at a baseline.
Dude, I'd rather play fucking Fortnite than play fucking Siege.
Dear Lord.
Jesus
Fair
Christ.
enough.
Anyway,
Real quick reminder: we're entering the last half of the podcast. So if you guys have any questions, make sure if you guys are watching it live, pop them in the chat so we can get a backlog of them so we can answer them right now. We need to get on top of asking that about 30 minutes in. So
so we talked about a little bit about new character coming into Siege. I do want to hit on this real quick just because it is a perfect segue, Scruff, and I'll let you go into Risk of Rain here in a second. Like we talked about how they add characters in Siege, they also big update is coming to Dead by Daylight. I know that I play Dead by Daylight. I'm a fan of Dead by Daylight. I know that Bill, your community is a big fan of Dead by Daylight as well. So if anybody has not seen the new rework that's coming, it's not just a visual or a actual new character. It's a full-blown visual update. They are
And it looks really good.
It does, dude. It honestly makes this in my opinion, a brand new game. Like, it looks so good. I mean, so clean. New locker rework, new gen animations. My question with the gen animations are you able to see those lights? Like, so can the killer see those the
lights flickering? Yeah.
See, that I don't like. That is one thing I don't agree with.
I think I read somewhere, and I can't remember where I saw it, but it's intentional. They realize that a lot of the maps they're doing are a lot bigger, so this is going to help killers on larger maps that, like, say a killer that doesn't have super great mobility.
Yeah,
they don't have to
cloud,
travel as far
like
because
that.
they can check it out from a distance.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just I feel like there's so
Which
like
it's always been like that. It's never been as blatant before because the lights have always flickered whenever a gen's being worked on.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about the lights actually on the gen itself when they're flicked, like those. Not the lights on top. I'm talking about the lights. So when they're putting things together, they're sparking wires. Yeah. That is what I'm mainly talking about. So it's a full graphics rework. Buildings are getting updated. Everything is getting updated. Lockers is getting done. Character.
They're changing any of the layouts of the map.
They are fixing some things with the map. So one of the maps is Nightmare on Elm Street's map. There is a house that basically a gen would spawn down below, and there was 2 stairwells to get up to it. It's a death, like, it just is an infinite loop for a killer.
If a survivor plays this loop properly, it is impossible for
the
survivor to get hit.
So they are fixing it now to where they're adding breakaway doors, so where the killer can bust through a wall, they can bust through a door, which they had that in some of the other maps, but they're now putting it into the newer maps or the older maps and reworking those.
That's what I was about to say. So what you're telling me is that the next killer is going to be the fucking Kool-Aid Man?
Well, any killer can do that. I mean, it doesn't have to be this particular killer. So it's in public test beta right now. We should see that launch coming out, I believe, next week. Is when they're looking at launching them. In any case, new killer. It's the Alchemist. And some really cool perks with them. I'm not going to go over all the perks. Go check them out.
I think his perks are a lot more interesting than his actual gameplay.
Yeah,
I think his perks, like, every single one of them is pretty meta shifting in their
own way. That the one perk where it
Dragon's
shifts
Grip is ridiculous.
Are you talking about that? That's the one that locks the pallet, right?
No, I'm talking about the one that if you kick a gen and somebody goes back and works on that gen, they scream and are exposed for 60 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
So you can one-shot them.
Yeah, they've got that. Then they also have the one that I find is terrifying is the fucking Hex one, to where it'll take the Hex rune and it'll move it. So, like, if a Dull Totem is taken down, it moves the hex rune to another dull totem. So every single time that someone does a totem, it moves it. It continuously keeps moving the fucking hex rune. So like it's terrifying. Like it's for somebody that runs like a lot of killers that run Noad and shit, that is absolutely terrifying.
The only hex I tend to run is Ruin, so it'll even help with that. Yeah. Keep that alive a little bit longer.
And then the one where it locks the fucking pallet. Like, have you seen that one?
Whenever you hit somebody, it locks pallets within a 16-meter radius.
Yeah,
of them.
Yeah. So they can't throw a fucking pallet down. Like that is crazy. But the killer themselves, I don't think is that interesting. Like I think
Bill debated me, man. He was like, "Oh, they got a fucking Dark Souls boss." I was like, "Oh, that's pretty fucking cool, man." And then I go into fucking Sid's chat. I'm like, "Hey, did you hear about the Dark Souls boss coming to fucking DBD?" And he's like, "The fuck are you talking about, dude?"
No, I mean it's
He vaguely resembles Gale from Dark Souls 3 because he's a hunched over old man with a hood and a beard.
Yeah, and he's got a cane. But I don't know. I don't think it's like he's a very much of a mixture of like Legion to me. Like he reminds me a lot of Legion. Like
he does
with his
very
frenzy.
Fast. He's the speed killer. He's the fucking Sonic boy of the game. I think he is the fastest killer released right now. I think
does he beat Legion? Because Legion is like
he does beat Legion one
and Freddy.
Dash. Yes.
Because I thought Freddy was the fastest killer with his rework. Unless Legion is frenzying, obviously.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure this guy is the new fastest boy on the street.
I mean, he kind of needs it because he doesn't have like himself has no real map control as far as like actual gens.
He has nothing to help him with chase.
Right. That's it. Like it's just his abilities are all like he can fury pretty much. He can go into like a rage state and hit something, but that's really kind of it.
He's gonna be garbage in indoor maps.
Yeah,
he is gonna be absolutely trashed here because his hitbox on. So, brief rundown on how this guy works. He has a dash where he just fucking books it, kind of like what Hillbilly does. But if he bumps into something, you have like a second to reactivate your ability. So it's based on a charge system. You can basically pinball yourself around the map. And that's how you move. But his hitbox is really, really big. So if you hit something dead on, you can't rotate fast enough before your charge wears off, and you'll just end up hitting that item again, and then you might be able to pinball off.
I have a feeling they're going to change his hitbox because one of the things too that I've seen with him is, and it seems to be a pretty big flaw, is that he, unlike a lot of the other killers, because he is so big, you can get behind him and just literally are completely out of his like I mean, theoretically you can get behind any killer and just basically meme the shit out of him and walk behind him. But this, like, he is easy to get behind because of his turn radius and things like that. So supposedly that is, I don't know if they're gonna fix it or not.
He's gonna get 360'd for days. Yeah.
So
and he's also the shortest killer. Like, he's as short as Pig in crouch mode.
Yeah, he is small.
Default. He is shorter than all of the survivors. Any advantage that killers usually have with like looping and stuff, where they can kind of like see like above items and stuff, like the tall boys, he's at the complete opposite end of the spectrum. He is at a complete disadvantage for like tall loops, like some like the big rocks or like the walls.
You go like the Orman, dude. He's fucked, dude. You go to Orman and he's gonna have a hard time because of how many fucking high walls.
The cornfields. Yeah.
So it's I mean, again, it's an interesting thing. The survivor perks, I did not get a chance to really go in depth with them. I heard they were okay, but they're not anything spectacular. Really, I don't know.
I'm trying to think of what there was one that seemed really good, but I can't remember it.
I don't know, but the bigger thing is the graphic rework too. Like it's going to be a new experience, and I really recommend checking it out. Like I said, when it drops in a week or two, to go do that. So sorry, I wanted to bring that up because it was something that did come out.
The one survivor perk that I remember that I thought seemed pretty decent is for every downed or hooked survivor, you get it's a stacking 10% increase of unhooking animation and healing. So
okay,
he's that one's
shit. You run that. You run that with fucking leader, bro. That's gonna be fucking like you're just gonna
leader
speed heal.
What's the one where you like heal super fast after you immediately unhook somebody?
Isn't that prove that? Not prove self. We will make it. I think, or we'll
make it.
Yeah, we'll make it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you could potentially have 30% on top of the 40%. You could just like
that, and then you run spine chill with it. It's just like you know. I mean, you're just fucking.
He's a very good altruism survivor from what I saw with his perks.
Yeah,
I think. And I think that's something that's been needed because a lot of the survivors that have came out recently have been kind of selfish.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm leveling Nancy right now, and I just am like, there is me. I have no reason to go help anybody else other than myself, like with Nancy. Yeah. So yeah. So Dead by Daylight, new stuff coming out. Go check that out. Something else that launched and released, full blown release. Scruffy has been having a fucking time of his life with this one. Is Risk of Rain 2.
Yep. So the 1.0 release, the full release of the game, which came out August 11th, so just about last week. It's been pretty awesome so far, but I don't know. I'll say it right away. I haven't exactly felt like it's deserving of the full release title, you know, the update for the full release. I don't think it's deserving that, but it's a good update nonetheless. They've added stuff.
Does it have a final boss finally?
It does have a final boss.
Okay.
And
you have to choose to face it, right? Though, don't you have to?
Sorry.
You have to choose to face the final boss, right? It's not a thing where
you can choose to face him, or you can choose to keep going on. You know, you can still go infinite stages. Or,
sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. Or obliterate yourself at a obelisk, which was kind of like the final end before this release. But yeah, so now they've added a new character, which is the captain, which I'll get to. They've also added bunch of new items, bunch of reworked old items, which is great. They've added like bunch of buffs and nerfs to items that were definitely deserving.
Is Shaped Glass still broken?
Shaped Glass is still broken. Yep, definitely still broken. And like they said, they added a new boss, new final boss, like to the story of the game, pretty much. But I guess the first thing I'll definitely point on is the new captain, the new character, which is the captain, which is pretty much like the bang of this update. This is what I feel like they've been rolling on, and I don't know, I'm a little underwhelmed with him. But as I've been playing him more, I've been kind of feeling him. But he's definitely still has one major detriment, and I'll kind of get to that. But the captain pretty much is this character that you play who has a kit of like just a shotgun pistol that as you charge it, you can hold it down to charge it to shoot at a long range of a condensed kind of beam of it. He's got two they're like these kind of packages that you call down that either one will give you healing, one will be a shock aura around you. There's one that will resupply your equipment, which is it's not the best one. No one really uses it. And then there's a pretty cool one that I've gained liking of, which is actually a hacking like sensor thing. So you can pretty much call it down on a chest or multiple chests if you get yourself lucky enough to, in a little AoE area, to call it down, and it'll hack all of the chests in that area, shrines, you know, shop things, anything pretty much, and it'll buy it all, or it'll make it zero cost. So it's actually really good, a pretty good strat to just kind of call that down and get free items.
Now, is that only zero cost for you, or is that zero cost for anybody?
For anyone. It just opens anything. The only thing that really goes down to zero cost is a shrine. It'll because how a shrine works is you have a chance to get something or you have a chance not to get something, and each time you do it, the price goes up. But with that, it'll just pretty much make it a zero cost. So you can just keep spamming that shrine.
Very cool. So, what's the downside to it? What's the catch? Because that sounds broken as fuck.
It is definitely broken. The catch is you get two of these abilities per stage. You can only use.
Okay, so there's no recharge on it.
Yeah, there's no recharge. You call these pillars down once per stage, and that's it. So the next stage,
hack like the golden chests on Inferno.
Yeah, you can hack anything. You can hack the golden chests. I've hacked the golden chests multiple times, whatnot. I've even hacked I forget the name of it, the TC-108. It's this really huge drone that's like usually pretty expensive.
Dope. Yeah.
You can even hack that. I've hacked it before. It's sweet. So it's definitely a good item because one, it saves you time. Two, it saves you money. So you could just put that down, make some money, go buy a chest, come back for that item, and pretty much
But
go.
it effectively limits him to a 2-move character at that point.
Pretty much. So you have to kind of like pick and choose where you want to put these things down. You know, the way I've been playing it is I've been immediately once I get into a map, I put the hack down on some chest or something, and then I usually save. I run the heal one as well for the boss fight. And there's kind of a cool little thing where it even on arrival, this pillar coming down, it does damage to anything in the area when it comes down on top of it too. So it's a really cool item, but it also has that detriment of, you know, only having 2 of them per stage. There is another ability that he comes with, being his shift or his utility, where he calls these mortar strikes down. You get 3 mortar strikes per charge of this ability. Just what it is, pretty much just rain mortars on top of everything with like a 12-second cooldown between a burst of 3. Pretty good ability. And then his secondary ability is this taser laser thing.
Taser laser.
It's okay. It stuns a small
Taser
condensed group of
face.
enemies, does a little bit of damage. It's not bad.
Gotcha.
What?
But
So what exactly is the most, like, where are you finding him underwhelming? I have a feeling you're getting to that.
I definitely am getting to that. One more thing before I get to that is he also comes with a red item immediately called these little Orbitron bots that will pretty much they're pretty much Jaeger from Siege. They'll get rid of any projectile that is shot at you. That does not mean like anything that is like a golem laser or the little wisp lasers. Those won't, because those are what's the freaking term? Anyways, any projectile, nothing that's like a on target hit. But so those are pretty cool. They're definitely not bad.
So it won't block like the lasers from the wisps, but it'll block
the projectiles from the greater wisps. So the little wisps, no.
And the Gatling gun dudes, it won't block those either, but
it might block some of them, but it goes on an attack speed. So the more attack speed you have, the more it'll block. So pretty much if you just build pure attack speed, it will do a pretty good job of blocking a lot of stuff. But the biggest detriment to this guy is pretty much anytime you're in a different dimension, you can't use the 2 pillars that you call down or the orbital strike. You can't use anything that comes from your ship, pretty much, because you're the captain. You call these things down from your ship, and so if you're in another dimension, your ship's in that dimension. You can't use it. That's the biggest thing that I have a concern with. I understand it from a immersion story standpoint, but just for a gameplay sense, you go into the bubble room or the void field or whatever,
right?
You're already down 2 abilities. All you have is your auto attack and your right click. That's it.
Same thing with the challenges and stuff, right? Like
challenge rooms
you can open up.
Yep, even the trial rooms too. None of that.
So he's like an end game character, basically. You don't want to be farming for like anything like that. And even then, like the bubble room's still like always a good thing to do. So
right. So I get it.
When you were playing him with me, like I picked it up. It was on sale when they went live. When they went 1.0. And we were playing it a little bit. Like even him without his abilities, I think he's still a little overpowered. Like his shotgun or whatever that thing is
does it
insane.
Just dunk on things?
Yeah, it definitely is good, but I don't know. I feel like it's still a huge detriment because all these.
I completely agree with you. Like I think it's stupid that they've gone down the route of like, oh, it's a lore thing because he's not on his ship. He can't send that. That's such a cop out. It's so bullshit. It's like make the fucking character. It's like make the fucking character playable no matter where you're at.
I understand. I think why don't rely on
bullshit
that,
lore.
Though, because I have a feeling his like hacking device or something might have interfered with how the bubble mechanics work or anything like that. Like
maybe, but I feel like they could have just found a way around that.
the biggest thing is like, right, you're using like these teleportation devices to fucking teleport you to these different areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't they just be like, yo, when my fucking ship shoots down my shit, it just opens a teleportation device on top of me, and all of a sudden, boom, there you go.
I feel like it wasn't the best design choice.
It's a stupid design, dude.
And especially even like if you think about it, like having in the bubble room anyways, the two the ability with only 2 charges you call down anyways, it wouldn't do much in there anyways.
Yeah.
But having the orbital strike would be huge. That would just help so much. Yeah. But the heals, you'd only get it for like one of the bubbles, so you'd have to choose like click it on like maybe the last couple bubbles.
True.
Does he have any mobility moves?
No, that's okay. What I was saying. Like he has no natural mobility moves. He just sprints everywhere.
Stacking quails, boys.
Yeah, stack quails, stack Hapu feathers, whatever. Yeah, that's about it.
Question I have for you: you said at the beginning of this that you don't feel like this is deserving of a 1.0 release. Why would you say that?
Because like I feel like they were banking on this captain character, and I just feel like he wasn't all of that.
Just wasn't enough content.
And there was other than that, there wasn't enough content.
But they added a new map or anything?
All they added was the end stage, the final boss fight, which
did they add artifacts and stuff too though?
It's cool. But
didn't they add artifacts?
Huh?
Didn't they add artifacts too? Like new artifacts and shit?
That was last patch.
Yeah, I don't think they added any artifacts.
Warned that they said that, or what I read was that they added new artifacts for this one too.
I might have missed that, but they've added new items. The new items that they have added are pretty cool. There's this one that you shoot like molten balls out of. It's like a proc that molten balls will come out of whatever you shoot. Or my favorite one is the new boss item from the Imp called Shatter Spleen, and pretty much turns all of your crits into bleed. And then enemies that are bleeding will explode.
That is amazing.
It's awesome.
In counter to what you're saying, I feel like this game has like been in a state where all they needed to do was add a final boss to really turn it into a 1.0. I feel like the game has been 1.0 ready for probably half a year now since they did the last big map pack. Added artifacts.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like I understand you saying that maybe this update isn't a big enough update, but I think
it's so much hype around it, and I feel like the hype that is around full release updates usually should come with a good.
Look at what, but you have to take you have to take the whole thing in perspective. I think that's what Bill is saying.
I totally am. Like the game has so much to it already. The game's doing amazing. It's got enough characters. Got all of this. That's just all I'm saying is
what would you have wanted to have to make it feel worthy of a 1.0 title?
What should it have had?
Yeah, what would you say it needed?
I would just say honestly a few more items, probably more artifacts, and I feel like they didn't nail the boss. Because pretty much the boss, the moon phase is
don't ruin it for anybody.
Yeah. Okay. I should say spoiler alert. I just think it's bland. It's a little bland. The boss fight is cool, but the lead up to it.
I get what you're yelling, man. I'm not gonna argue with you. Like watching you play it and stuff like that. I think you're right, spot on with the captain. Like if they were banking on the captain being like oh shit, this guy's so amazing. They didn't hit the nail on the head. Like they didn't hit the mark at all. Like I don't think that he's a very good,
I guess because so I feel like I look at it the same way that Bill kind of does. And again, I don't play a lot of Risk of Rain 2. I've played it here and there. I've enjoyed the game, but like Dead Cells did a similar thing, and Dead Cells came to 1.0, but Dead Cells came to 1.0, and it was, when you look at it, it's like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah, but Dead Cells also came to 1.0 within months of it fucking releasing into early access.
No, it didn't.
How long has Dead Cells been out, and how long has Risk of Rain been out?
Dead Cells didn't go to 1.0 for almost, I would say, close to a year and a half.
Okay, so how long is the
Risk of Rain 2 is almost the same. I think mainly 2 years at most. It's not been that super long. Like it's around the same time. I'm just saying that I understand like
what you're saying. I understand. Like there's enough content
from a breadth perspective
already.
of what you got and a lot, and I think that's the downfall of early access that a lot of things have is like we look at things from an early access standpoint and we get to play it, but then when something goes 1.0, it's like, oh well, it should be a whole fucking extra bunch of shit, and it's like, well, no, like you've played the game. We're just finishing the last section of the game. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I don't know, to me, it's like going to watch a movie, bless you, going to watch a movie and seeing the movie being made. And then when you see the ending, you're like, well, what the fuck? That wasn't a big enough ending. Well, it's like, no, it's the culmination of everything.
1.0 is like a signal beam, like the fucking bat signal for anybody who hasn't already bought the game. I think that's the biggest
right. So
influence of a 1.0. If you've already bought the game in early access, a 1.0 update's not going to be
that big of a deal.
Unless they've been locking a significant amount of the game.
I mean, at that point though, then they cheapened their release by putting it on sale for $15.
Who did?
Them.
How?
They put it on sale the day that it fucking went
right.
1.0.
But the people that have been playing the game forever, from early access, already bought it, so they're not going to. It's not like, okay, cool, like we got 1.0, let's go see what they added. Oh, cool, they added a bunch of some new stuff. That's great. But then for people that haven't and want to and don't believe in early access and want to play a 1.0 experience, would you say that if you've never touched Risk of Rain 2 and bought this at $15, which is what you did, right? Would you sit here and say that you don't feel like you got your $15 worth?
I think the game's worth more than 15, more than 20.
There you go.
I haven't really played it that much, but yeah, no, I think it's worth the $15. But again, I do think that they've cheapened their release a little bit by putting it on sale 1.0.
Most games go on sale whenever they launch on Steam. A majority
I know Hellpoint did. Hellpoint did
a majority of games go on sale like that whenever they do.
Most indie devs do. Yeah.
And this is an indie dev.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm not arguing that. I'm like 100%. I'm not arguing the fact, but I do think that it did cheapen it a little bit.
I don't understand. I don't understand how. I'm not grasping how it cheapened it.
You don't need to understand how, Sin. Thankfully, your opinion and my opinion can be differing, and we can
absolutely not.
We can still be friends.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to say, like, I think that to bring up an early, because there's the last thing that I want to bring up is another game that came out in early access. We're only going to spend literally like 2 minutes talking about, but early access. This is, I think, a downfall of early access is, when something goes to 1.0, people that are playing in early access are like, oh my God, I need to have all of this extra, it's 1.0. It should be this big thing. When the reality is it's not. You're playing the game. 1.0 means the game is finished. And for people that have never experienced it, never played it, come to it, they see it, they get a lower price point because it's 1.0. It's a big deal. Have at it, man. I think that's great. I think congrats on Risk of Rain 2 for what they've done. I think, from Risk of Rain 1, I never played it because I could not stand the style of it, to Risk of Rain 2 being like really cool looking in a different style format. I think congratulations, man. I'm happy for them. So
either way, I agree, but I definitely agree to disagree with like the whole 1.0 release thing. I still stand by. I think it should be a pretty big bang just for the title it is. You choose to go into early access. I feel like the whole lead up of early access leads to that 1.0 release.
Well, the fact that they chose to withhold a character until the very end, until the final release, they meant to make that a big bang, right? Like that was their final character that they were going to be releasing up until release date. Like I know they have further plans for further characters, right? But like the commander was supposed to be the big, hey, you can play the fucking commander, right? It's supposed to be a huge bang.
Yeah.
And it didn't hit the mark.
I don't know.
That's what
it sounds like. It did. It just sounds like for one part of his ability didn't.
A little bit, but like I think he's a great character no matter what. I think he just has some flaws they need to work out. But
he needs to be reworked a little bit, maybe.
Either way, like end of story, like the game is doing great things. I fully support it no matter what they do. Honestly, good for them because I've always loved the Risk of Rain series. I'm glad to see the path that they're going right now. It's really good to see.
I had fun with it when I was playing with you. Like I thought that the fucking the intro character that they gave you was really fun. I hope that they bring out more characters. I'm looking forward to seeing what else they bring out. So
try Risk Rain. It's a really fun game to get into.
Another game
I think at $15 it was a good buy for sure.
Another game that came out to early access is Rogue Legacy 2. For anybody that has not played Rogue Legacy, actually, have any of you guys ever played Rogue Legacy, the original?
I played the one.
Okay, yeah,
Stunty Boys for life.
Yeah, so Rogue Legacy, really cool game. It's basically it's a roguelike. It's actually one of the very first roguelikes that I played and fell in love with. Outside of like Castlevania, stuff like that. If you really want to consider those roguelikes. But in any case, same premise here. I mean, almost to the T. The big thing that they did was there was a big art style change. So in this one, and it's still in very early access. Let me just say that. Like, there are still a lot of things that are locked behind development walls, things like that are, coding that, like, literally an item, it says like, flammable underscore coding underscore
test
error counter. Yeah, it's stuff like that.
12277.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. But I picked it up and played it, and there was a big graphical change. So they went from an 8-bit style, or bit style, to a more cartoony, like higher res style. It's still 2D. Particularly, I don't like it. I don't like that change. I like in Risk of Rain, I love it. In this, I don't. In this, I think that 8-bit style, very like Neon Abyss, it plays to this style, like Dead Cells. It plays in this like world, and it just makes it better. I don't really like the art style in this one. It looks great. It looks beautiful, but it's not that much to look at personally. And it's, if you liked Rogue Legacy, basically you have character traits that are like gigantism, and it'll make you fucking huge but easy to hit. You'll have something that's like tunnel vision, and it makes it so you can't see below and above you, and you can only see like a small sector. You'll have something that's like dwarfism, or that'll make you tiny.
Dwarf boys for life.
Yep. And so like all of these kind of things and different abilities. I'm gonna play it more so I can talk about it on next week's show, or next podcast, a little bit more in depth. But it's on sale right now, $15. If you like the original, go play this. It's very much of the same. But I'm interested to see how people feel about the art style, because it is a turn off for me. It is not something that I am very, very keen on. So
I don't mind. From what I've seen of it, I don't mind it too much. It's
very reminiscent of like Castle Crashers, kind of.
Yeah,
it's got that cutesy kind of look to it, which I understand where that is a turn off.
Like, I just, for me, that's like that look of Dead Cells, that look of Neon Abyss, that style fits in the original Rogue Legacy. It just fits so well to me in that, and it brings in that, like, I guess to me, it makes me feel like this is going to be a hard ass game. You know what I mean? Whereas on this, it doesn't necessarily feel that way. I mean, it is. It's still very hard. Like, trust me, I got trolled. I fell in a fucking hole I couldn't get out of. Like, it's like, you motherfuckers. Like, that, it is very Vagante in that sense.
Dude,
but
unforgiving.
Yes, it is. But it's still a good game. I think if you are new to roguelikes, it's a very great roguelike to get into, aside from Dead Cells. Obviously, Dead Cells is, there's a reason it's on my fucking wall. It is, in my opinion, the best roguelike out there. And a huge update just came to that. And I can't even talk about it yet because I haven't played it yet. And I'm super excited to play that. So, cool. All right.
Cool.
So guys,
questions time.
Yep, this is the final part of the show. For anybody that is listening on Spotify or on YouTube, we, like I said, we do this live, and we open up the very back end of the podcast for the ability to ask questions for chat. So if you want to join us and actually want to participate live in what we do and what we talk about in the show, you can do that at 10 p.m. Eastern on our channel. And we open it up, like I said, for you guys to be able to post some questions. And we do have some questions that have been asked. I will let Bill, Bill, it came from your channel. One of them came from your channel, so I'll let you take over that one from Jake.
All right. So Mr. Jake 22699 asked, asking for a vote: who thinks Doomslayer should be added to Siege?
Everybody knows who Doomslayer is, right? It's like, it's the Doom guy.
Yep.
Yeah, Doom guy.
I think game mode.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. As a main character, it doesn't make sense, and I don't think as like cartoony and futuristic as some of these most like some of these more recent updates have been. Like they're slowly shifting out of the realm of reality with some of the stuff that they're doing, but they're still trying to stay at least like grounded out of fantasy. It's like sci-fi more than anything like that.
Can't the one dude like turn invisible completely?
No, he just turns invisible to cameras.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you turned okay.
Vigil.
No,
Yeah.
I was about to choy on that. I was like, bro, there's literally a dude that can turn invisible. And that's one thing that I don't like about going off on a tangent here with the Rainbow Six stuff. The recent stuff is like the Division goes down way too much of a fucking unrealistic route, and I'm just like, come on, guys.
Yeah, no, and a lot of people that's a turnoff too.
Because the game sucks.
They want their siege to like keep like as much realism as possible, even with the futuristic gadgets and stuff. So, but I think the Doom guy, I think it could be a cool special event, like give Amaru's grappling hook to everybody, but let them hook onto whatever, gives like an energy sword or whatnot, and the
chainsaw,
super shoddy I don't know how they would incorporate that. I was thinking an energy sword, the super shoddy, and grappling hooks.
Chainsaw taking down fucking walls and shit.
I was thinking more the lines of having everyone versus just one really big Doom,
really strong cool. Doom guy.
Well, I was gonna say, why don't they just put Doom guy in Dead by Daylight? Like,
there you go.
Make him a killer. I mean, that's kind of Billy anyway, but like, make him Billy and fucking, I don't know, give him a grappling hook.
That'd be pretty dope.
I don't know. Like, I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, Doom guy and everything. I need Doom guy in Fall Guys. I need Doom guy in League. I need Doom guy in everything, dude.
Yeah,
dude. I for the longest time after Animal Crossing came out, the Doom guy Isabel memes that were going around.
Tear.
That shit made my heart so happy.
That shit fucking
the
was
most
amazing,
ridiculous
man.
crossover shit. Yeah, man.
The little video of him picking her up and he's like, "Rip," and then she goes, "Tear." I'm like, yes, that's amazing.
All right, on to the next one, which was from Mr. Sin's chat.
Actually, I think that was from Scruffy's channel.
Or Scruff's chat, sorry.
Got one, yep. Brainstain TV asks, so why does Pre-Patch think BK would do a troll dono to advertise when Miller, Lite, and Coke have already done more positive advertising models with larger donations, sub-bombs, and supporting moderators of large channels?
So the reason behind that is because Miller and Coke did that themselves. They didn't go through an agency to do it. Burger King decided to pay an agency, an ad agency and marketing agency to do this for them. And that's why, because it was not handled internally. It was not handled by someone that understood what was going on. Coca-Cola and Miller did their homework. They knew how the proper way of doing this. And they went about it the right way, and Coke and Burger King did not. Burger King did not give a shit. They just were like, here's some money. Go do whatever you need to do. So that's why, cool. in my opinion.
Yeah, that's 100% it.
So,
yep.
Yeah,
I didn't know they were a different agency. That makes sense though.
Yeah. So yeah, Bill, I think you had another question in your chat.
Yep, and so this one is from Guardian, and I think we can just do a round robin with this one. What is one killer that you want in Dead by Daylight? I feel like we've gotten this question before, but I don't remember what everybody's answers were.
I don't think we got this question particularly, but I don't even know. Bro, we shouldn't even let Enigma and fucking Scruffy answer this goddamn question because they don't even get to play.
Not?
Y'all don't even fucking like playing the game. Y'all think that they
have an opinion.
It doesn't matter. Your opinion is that they should give guns to the fucking survivors.
A legit answer.
I think the next time that Sin has an opinion, we just tell him that he doesn't have an opinion.
You already told me that my opinion didn't matter, so that's cool.
I said that your opinion mattered on your own, and it didn't affect mine.
True, but I legit think that the Kool-Aid Man should be in DBD.
God damn it, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Oh yeah.
This is why we don't let them have microphones, people. All right. Enigma, what is your answer?
I don't care. I don't play DBD.
See, I swear to God, I knew it. like what? Like I tried. You know what? I try to keep this show on a fucking like true path or whatever else, and then these two dickheads just try to come over here and fuck it all up. Man. I swear to God. Okay, Bill,
shit.
what would be your answer?
Actually, I do have.
Nope, you lost it. Sorry, you lost your chance.
I do have an answer. I don't know if they actually already have it or not. Like, do they have Scream in the game?
Yeah,
already?
actually, Ghostface. There's actually talks about them taking Ghostface out of the game, and removing him from the game. He broke a lot of. He caused a lot of problems because they had to add more trees. And more debris because
more trees.
Yeah, they had to, because his kit is about like hiding and peeking around stuff. Yeah. So they had to add trees and they had to add more things for him to peek around. Well, for someone like Huntress, Billy, for characters like that, it makes it harder because that now puts shit in the way to where you can't throw, you can't dash, you can't do a lot of shit. So it broke a lot of things, and you can't properly remove the trees without it. They're also talking about completely, if not taking him out, actually doing a complete rework of him because nobody plays Myers anymore because he is basically a better Myers. So there's talks that he will be taken completely out of the game or reworked completely.
That makes me sad. I enjoy what Ghostface does right now.
I think he's broken. I think he's a broken killer. He has too much to his kit.
Saw. So the dudes in Saw would be cool too. But
that's already there.
I don't see how they would.
They have Pig.
They've already got that in there too. The Pig. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, I'm sorry.
Fuck it. I don't even like this game anyways. Fuck this game.
This is why we don't let them have opinions. All right, Bill, what would be your answer?
It's never gonna happen because it doesn't make any sense. But I think Father G from Bloodborne would be really, really cool. He would basically function kind of like how Oni does now, where like after so many hits he would go into like his beasthood form and like be able to do like dashes and stuff like that in the way he would work in my head. But I just feel like a crossover with that kind of thing would be pretty neat.
Yeah. So for me, if I only had to choose one to be able to go into it, I would most like to probably see something like Pinhead. I think Pinhead's kit, from being able to be like, you could do a lot with him with like hallucinations, being able to summon like demons and kind of things would be really cool. If we were talking about not just adding somebody but actually a rework, I would love for them to actually do a full-blown rework on Clown. I think his kit right now is very weak. When it comes, I mean, he's a good chase, but he has nothing like Pop Goes the Weasel is okay, but like he
gets pressured so easy.
Yeah, he's too easy. I would love to have it to where he could basically, there are decoys of him around, or like the gens themselves are actually fucking they have gas, and if you fail a skill check, then it starts to release gas onto the map around it, which causes screaming, which also causes
that's kind of like what they do with Doc right now, though. I feel like you'd be stepping into Doc's territory.
Yeah, but there's a lot of, but if you think about it, like they cross over in some of characters. Dude, fuck Doc. I hate that fucking.
Same.
He's
as bad as Freddy.
Dude,
I can't stand Doc.
If I go against Doctor, I immediately I would almost immediately. I don't quit, but it makes me want to fucking just quit. Like,
same, bro.
It's just
100%.
God, can we mute them, please? Like, God damn it.
Yeah, a legit one though. Like I do.
Go for it,
man. And I heard that they were gonna potentially add them. The Candyman.
Yeah, Candyman is in the works. They've been doing voice lines with basically. I only know him as from Zavala, but he is supposedly the new Candyman. They're redoing the movie.
Bro,
I think he's gonna come into it.
What about the ghost chick that crawls out the fucking TV, bro?
The Grudge.
The Grudge.
The Ring.
Or not the Grudge, but
yeah, it's. Are you talking about the Ring?
Ring.
It's I mean, they have Spirit that's kind of like that. I mean, I don't know. She's got some. I mean, she looks like the character. Her lore is from that character. What's up?
Just don't answer the phone.
Yeah.
Just turn off your TV, bro.
Honestly, I would rather them go down the route of not doing like killers that are licensed.
Supernatural.
Well, no, like licensed killer. I actually enjoy them coming up with their own because it gives them so much more to do. I mean, I like seeing Myers. I like seeing Freddy. I like seeing, Pyramid Head and stuff like that. Like, I would like to see them maybe go down that route. If they are going to do it, like go down some of the video game character routes. Like, I think that's kind of cool.
I'll tell you one that really freaked me out as a kid. And it wasn't, I mean, it was a killer, but it was more of a horror movie. Did you guys ever watch the movie Darkness Falls back in like 2012?
Yeah,
with the fucking Tooth Fairy.
No,
with the Tooth Fairy.
No,
yeah, dude, that was creepy as shit. Then I think I always thought that was kind of a cool model because it was the original idea of the Tooth Fairy, right? The Tooth Fairy was never supposed to be all you get a fucking tooth, you get a
no, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be a horror story.
She was a fucking creepy ass hag that fucking like killed children and fucking took their fucking teeth.
most fairy tale stories come from like they're horrible. Yeah, they're miserable. But yes, I mean that's the cool thing about Dead by Daylight is that they really have a lot they can do. And I know that you guys don't like the game mainly. I know why Scruffy doesn't like it. It's because
I like the game. I just don't like playing the game.
That's what I'm saying. You don't like playing because you want to be able to damage the killer. But if they add that
every time, I want to be able to fight back. I hate being so defenseless.
But
I give it shit all the time. But it's like I don't dislike the game. I don't think that I would enjoy.
I think Bill can attest and can stand by me with this. Is that honestly, survivors have a lot at their disposal, with the killers.
I know they do. Yeah, it's just.
I mean, giving them the ability to fucking they had this, and I think this is why also, Friday the 13th was not received as well because it's the same style game, but it's because you can fight back against the killer.
Well, they had that other one that was like the summer or whatever last year, and that one was received okay, but I think it got hurt because it was on the fucking Discord gaming bullshit that they tried to do for a long time.
Well, remember that? Well, no, it was still you could get it on Epic, and I think they launched it on Steam.
Yeah, but it's still launched through Discord.
Yeah.
It also had a really weird gameplay loop too, where there was like a prep phase where the survivors had to like go scavenge and like set up traps and shit, and the killers were able to like actively teleport and stuff. It was really weird gameplay loop.
It was kind of
I liked it though.
Left 4 Dead infestation mode where you got to play as the
I really think that Dead by Daylight as its core gameplay loop is in a very good spot as far as like what it has, what it does. I would not like for them to give the ability for the survivor to fight.
I don't think it'll ever happen.
I mean, I don't know. I think there's enough there to do it. And
doing that would be like Siege taking away the one-shot headshot mechanic.
Which they should.
We're gonna go on for a whole nother hour now.
Cool. I think that summed up all the questions. If I'm not mistaken, right? Did we have any more from anybody? No, that was it. Awesome. Well, guys, it has been an amazing show. As always, we love everybody for coming and hanging out in our chat, whether you're in my channel, whether you're in Bill's channel, whether you're in Scruffy's channel or the main pre-patch channel. Thank you guys so much for coming out and having a good time. I hope you'd enjoyed it as much as we did. If you did miss any of the show or had to step out or just couldn't make the show this time live, again, ! Podcast and all of our channels will get you the link directly to go to download it on Spotify. Please, guys, more than anything, go in and click the link on Spotify to favorite it, to heart it, to download it. If you
3 new episodes up.
Yeah, we just
uploaded 13, 14, and 15.
Yep, we just
and I will be uploading 16 as soon as I can, probably tomorrow.
Yep, and so we will have 16, and this is now 17. So, we are almost caught up fully on Spotify, but there's over 24 hours of content for you to go and listen to. And I can tell you it's awesome to go and listen. And what I like to do is we'll go and pick a show, pick an episode like 2, and then I'll go and listen to like episode 13, and then just bounce around and listen to the progression of the shows. But We love doing it. We love, completing this. And in fact, I was listening to the Giant Bombcast and they're at like episode 648. And I'm just sitting back thinking like, what is that going to be for us? Right? I mean, what is that gonna look like? So super excited to do that. So please guys go in there and favorite that on Spotify. And if you prefer YouTube, go in and like and subscribe on YouTube.
Ring that bell
as well. But again,
I think really quickly, if you're not in our chats to do live on Spotify, at least it's either Pre-Patch Podcast or Pre-Patch Team. If you search both of those keywords, you should be able to find us. So
there you go. But we do this every other Thursday night. Once we start seeing a demand for it, we will, potentially start doing this, every week if there's, like I said, that demand shows up. But in any case, again, this is something that we absolutely love doing. I could not do this alone. I have to have my crew with me. And obviously I've got to have Scruffy, I've got to have Bill, and I've got to have Enigma here to do the show. And from all of us at Pre-Patch, we hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you guys for being here, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Much love. Good vibes.